கேட்கும்போது ஆமா சார் டீம் இன்னும் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி போடுறது. அவங்க சப்போர்ட் பண்ணி ஒரு மெயில் அனுப்பிச்சனால இப்போ வரைக்கும் நான் அவர் வந்து கேட்காம இருக்காரு. கடைசி நிமிஷத்துல வந்து கேட்பாரு. 5% கூட இன்னும் நீங்க அதில் ஓப்பன் பண்ணல, ஓப்பன் கூட பண்ணி பார்க்க மாட்டேங்கிறீங்க.
Good morning, sir. ওটা কি ফিক্সড নাকি না? যেটা ধার্য করে দিবেন সেটা নাকি না যে তাহলে কেউ বেশি দিতে পারবে?
Good morning, Matri. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rushan. Are you in the call?
Yeah, hi. Hi, Madhuri. Good morning to all of
Good morning. Good morning. Shall we start now?
you. Yes.
I see so many people are waiting in the lobby. Maybe we can.
I think only both of you can accept them, right, Madri?
We don't have access. Well, let's start now because we have so many things to cover by today. Well, let's start. So many people are still joining, but I would like to utilize the time properly. So we'll start now. And this is very early morning at UK. So Karian and the others UK colleague could not join now. So on behalf of Karian, I would like to welcome all of you to today's session. Let's start with a quick introduction with our team. Karen Etel, she's our sustainability lead for manufacturing and chemistry area. And we have Dan, Rachel, and Hannah to our UK team. You are going to get a lot of email communication from Rachel now. For our Bangladesh, India, and Sri Lanka region, I am working with Afrin, Ashok, and Himani. At our Turkey team, we have Fatma, and for Henry, for China and Far East, we have Henry along with Terry and Paris. Just a quick refresher. I believe all of you already know by this time that what is our goal. Uh, we at MNS, we would like to be net zero by 2040. And for that, we have a near-term goal that is to reduce 55% of our emission by 2030. Our baseline year is 2016 and 17, and that time our emission was 6.2 million tons CO2 equivalent. Now, when we say net zero by 2040 and 55% reduction by 2030, this is across our whole value chain, along with our scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emission. As per the research, 90% of our emission, greenhouse gas emission, is coming from our supply chain. That is the product we are selling in our stores, and that is coming from our supplier. And that's why we always request you to come join us to our net zero journey. As a across our total sustainability team, we look after raw material, waste, sustainable manufacturing, and chemistry, and also traceability. And along with all these three strategic areas, we are trying to address water stewardship, pollution mitigation, then supplier consolidation, fostering biodiversity, and we believe all of these initiatives will feed into our net zero goal. Now, a quick update about KESKIL, and I'm sure that by this time you all know about KESKIL, Sustainable Apparel Coalition, that is SSC, which is now rebranded themselves as KESKIL. KESKIL means collective action at scale. This is to align with the new regulation, which is coming in different locations. And by this time, you also know that Worldly, which is the uh, technology partner of HIGG FM. They also changed their name from HIGG FM to Worldly. Both the things, all the things remain unchanged. That is SSA still the owner of HIGG FM, which is now Keskill and Worldly. So why we are working with Worldly and why we are inviting you to do the HIGG FM 4.0 or HIGG FM? The new changes which is coming to the industry, and for that we need to navigate with a lot of regulation. We need to report our environmental impact publicly, and for that we need a lot of data. This new HIG FM 4.0 is designed to address all this new country regulation, and we believe it will reduce duplication, and it will secure better data quality, and as I said, aligned with global industry standard. And in this new change, there are some initiatives that is taken by Wordly to secure data quality, data aluminum, sustainable beyond textile industries. That is, earlier it was only taking care of textile. Now it's also take care of home, and packaging. And all this data can be reported as per greenhouse gas protocol and SBTi protocol. Now I'd like to highlight about some key dates and expectation from you. First of all, our expectation is to complete the self-assessment by 13th of April. When we say self-assessment, we request you to complete all the self-assessment. That is not only level 1 or level 2. We want you to complete level 1, level 2, level 3. Regardless of the verification, we request all of you to complete the self-assessment for all the level by 13th of April, and also to complete the verification by 30th of September 2024. As you know that we are going to use all of this data for our greenhouse gas inventory, and we would like to use verified primary data, and HIGG FM is the tool through which we utilize this data for our greenhouse gas greenhouse gas inventory. Well, this is the last slide from my end, and I would like to request on behalf of our team, 3 takeaways for you. Number 1, complete the self-assessment for all levels, that is level 1, level 2, and level 3 by 30th of April. Complete the verification by 30th of September. Number 3, I would like to request all of you, especially for the meals, to report your production in kg or tonnage. If you have any difficulties on that, please reach out to us, our regional team or our global team separately through email. With that, I would like to hand over you to Roshan. And I'm stop sharing my screen. By the time Roshan is taking the
I'm here.
screen, I'd like to request a few other things. This is kind of housekeeping. Number 1, please keep yourself muted. This is a request. Please keep yourself muted because so many people joined today. If everybody's mic is not muted, then it's very difficult to continue. Number 2, for this year, we have a very comprehensive plan to familiarize yourself to the HIGG FM 4.0. This is the new version of HIGG FM. So we developed a workshop at the beginning from transition to 3 to 4. Then I believe all of you or most of you attended in-person training already. Some of you already attended another online session by this time. So this session is the last one for this comprehensive plan, and we expect you to come up with all the critical points or all the questions you are still struggling with. Now, how you are going to ask the question? We would like to request you put your question in the chat box. From our team or Roshan or from somebody from Bluein will address this question. Thank you very much. Thank you again for joining. Over to you, Roshan.
Thank you, Madhurida. Before going further, I think we have now. Himadrita, I have given permission to you to mute or to admit people in the lobby. In the meantime, I also request Mani and I think Himani is there. Could you please just type your email in the chat box so I'll give permission to you right now as well. So like when I'll do the presentation, if somebody is coming and going, you people can take care of that.
Perfect. And Afrin is also in the call. So Afrin,
Whoever
Ashok,
give
Himani,
yes, you can
please
give
write
your
your email
ID
address in the chat box so that you can get the
access to.
administrative access so that you can mute people and also admit people to join the session. Mr. Roshan, I think we can start now.
Sure.
By this time you add them. And one request is that this is the month day of Ramadan. So some people are fasting. I would
Okay.
like to request you to give a break
Okay.
at around 12:30 IST,
Okay.
so that
12,
they can go for a prayer for
12:30
30 minutes.
Bangladesh time, right?
No, 12:30 India time, 1 p.m. Bangladesh time.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Right, we need 30 minutes prayer break.
Okay. Okay, probably I think Himani, you and Mani can do that. In the meantime, let me start the presentation, else we will be bit late. Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. If I'm not audible, just speak. Like if I'm disconnected or lost somewhere else. Okay. Thank you for your making time for this presentation as well, because as Himadri told, this is the last where we can finally discuss the concerns so far as he 4.0 is related. Okay. Uh, Probably you guys already would have been started. Somebody would have completed. Somebody would have verified as well. By this time, I'm sure you would have some more knowledge about like what is the I would say how this HIGG is responding, the Wordly is responding so far as the assessment and the verification is concerned. So I'm also fortunate to have some verification completed. So I know there are some challenges as well. So I will share my experience as well. So little bit will tone down differently. Like I can see some of the challenges, what facilities are now following during the assessment, during the verification. So we'll try to respond to those challenges as well. Today we are going to complete all the not the all the session. Yeah, partially we are going today, and then rest whatever will be the remain we will see tomorrow. I hope you can also join. You should also join tomorrow for the remaining session. Today I will go a little bit slow with some of the challenges what I just initiated, and then you guys can also take care of like your own facility if you are still in between filling the forms and all. Okay, so these are the some of the silent feature. I'm not going into detail. Probably you people would have been in other sessions as well. uh, so uh, so this is the like what is the difference between 3 to 4, probably we all know. Okay, now probably yes, you also know now this year there is no verification for the complete assessment. It is for the core verification only. What is that core verification? It is the level 1 of level 1, even not every question of level 1, just for your information. Level 1, the quantitative data, qualitative data, that's what we have to check. We may, when I say we means a verifier has to be checked over there. Okay, this is applicable for this credence year. What I know, probably even in 2025 you would have the same core verification. And you have to it is and so far as score is concerned, definitely you are getting score of your own when you do the self assessment, but after the verification it would not the whole 100 would be, it will be on the verification by the verifier, whatever the area he has taken care of, that is only the score is going to reflect after verification. So what I understand, score is not that much is important, but yes, make sure that your level 1 to be complete. Okay, because probably you guys know many brands were looking for the level 1 to be completed, and this time I think these data should be authenticated to be make sure that everything should be as per the requirement. If you need to change the baseline, this is the right time. If you need to change or correct your data, this is the right time, because a lot of information has been asked, and as you filled, how much is the lengthy and how much is the time taking. Okay, so this is the core verification. A verifier is going to check your the quantitative matrix, and that what is that, what are the data, like whatever the water data, what is the energy data, the level 1 questions of energy, sorry, EMS, wastewater, air emissions, and chemical management. Okay, moreover, this 4.0 is looking for your foundation. How strong is your foundation? Okay, so it's a very good time for you to correct, clean your all your old junks, whatever you had, and move ahead with the fresh data, move ahead with the authentic data. Okay, I'm telling you authentic every time because these data is going to be freeze, and then in future you will have repercussion of all those data if you are not having added the things properly. So make sure that everything's to be as per the record, as per the requirement, as per the actual evidences and all. Okay, you should have a data quality team as well in your facility to make sure. And also, as we do the internal audits, here is also expecting you to conduct a kind of cross departmental like checking of the data to be very much sure about like whatever the data you are presenting, it's authentic. Just for your information, a verifier can come and go. Probably he may do some kind of mistakes, but those mistakes will be your mistakes. Okay, sometimes when the things will be revealed after later on, like in those condition, you will be in like in challenging condition that to rectify those things. Yes, it is expected the things to be knowledgeable, and there is proper roles and responsibility for each sections, I would say. Facility should have activity data. There must be an inventory source, like you should have all data based on the like your online meter reading, invoices, reports, engineering calculations. Okay, don't go for like all the like targets and all for the estimations and all. What I have noticed previously, many people just give, will reduce 4%, 5% of my energy, water emissions, which was not actually the correct one, unless and until it has been taken with purely energy calculation. Means how, what is actually our baseline and how much we are going to change, how, what are the implementation, what we will do, which will make change from this to that, based on the facts and figure. That's how it's going to be from your side as well. Okay, and then you should consider, like you can always have your Excel spreadsheets, and you should consider like where to have to record all this, and who should do all the roles and responsibility to be at least make sure that it could be properly taken care of. Okay, so data quality review should be another part. Second reviewer type of activities you can do. If you are doing any kind of estimation technique, make sure your calculation methodology should be clear enough to make sure that whatever the data you are presenting would should have make sense for this verification. As I mentioned, it's a quantitative matrix. So these are the questions which actually you can see is going to be verified. That's related to the quantity in energy, in water, in air, and in waste sections. So these are the important things. Which are the important question? I would say make sure you can do, like you can double check whenever you present these data. I'm not bothered about being even a trainer. I'm not bothered about level 2 and level 3. You have all the chance to rectify, to understand level 2, level 3 questions, but to level 1 question and these data, make sure it should be as per the requirements. Okay, some of the like these are the number of questions what we have right now available with us. This particular slides, it's basically talking about like how the marks has been distributed. As you know, when you do your self assessment, you will have definitely 100 marks. Out of these 100 marks, the level 1 contributing 25, level 2 50, and level 3 again 25. So you can understand, to achieve the score, again level 2 is the chunk of the place where you can have the majority of marks. A simple example from the EMS, you can understand 3 questions which contributing 50 marks, and the rest 13 50 marks, 50 marks. Okay, so this is how you can understand like where you have to think which questions you have to target. Make sure that you should have your plan at least for next 5 years, like what I am going to get this year, what I can get in next year, what could be my plan for next to next year, and then forthcoming years. So at least make 5 years plan, because your baseline requires to be changed after 5 years. It is what is expecting. Okay, so make sure all this data or whatever the data is what you are giving, it's going to be authenticate. Okay. Let me go into the side info and permits. I have seen a lot of challenges by the people even in the side info. Usually I avoid these particular sections, but what I have noticed during the verification, people like miserably we make mistakes in the side info side. There are new questions. For the new question, I'm not bothered, because people are already like they have understood these questions. Like they have new questions like whether your places, your area is in the industrial zone, whether you have engaged like what are the number of employees you have in maintenance and treatment, because this is like it's going to be reflect again in the wastewater to understand like how good is your team for the maintenance. Lot of trainings we're expecting for these guys. And like have you ever that GHG emission disclosure? Then how do you disclose either in corporate website, CDP, carbon disclosure plan? And are you doing any type of assessment, environmental assessment other than the HIG? Okay, the good thing happened in this HIG 4.0, like it is not expecting you to only focus on HIG. So you can also miss, every factory or industry would have their own challenges and own requirement. So yes, some assessment would be like some environmental assessment should be suitable. So probably I believe that is the reason why it has been like consider this time also for other assessment, and you have very good like mileage in level 3 questions of EMS and CMS so far as these type of assessment is concerned for your subcontractor or your upstream suppliers. Okay, so these are the new questions which has been added. These are like, yeah, this is where people are making mistakes, what I have noticed. Like, what do I select? Which facility option should is considered for me as well? Okay, I have printing, I have finishing, I have cut to pack factory. What to be I select? Okay, I'm giving you some of the example that will make your life easy. If you are only cut to pack factory, means if you are only cut to pack factory, select the product, finished product assembly. Probably you are doing it as well as. Okay, if you are having cut to pack factory number one, and also you are doing printing, the chest printing, screen printing, table printing in the same premises, but if you are not doing the job work of that particular printing, you should only select finished product assembly only, because you are doing only one billing, that is for your garment. Okay, the printed article is for your garments. Okay, and you are billing or you are doing the shipment, it's only your invoicing is only based on the garment. In that case, finished product assembly. If you are having printing and a product like cut to pack, and you are like some of your facilities sending you for the some of the articles to be print, and you are just sending the print article, not the complete garment, and you are doing invoices for the print article, then you select this one, as well as the finished product assembly. There you can get the printing as well. Okay, if you are doing the dyeing, printing, cut to pack factory, go for these three things. I'm talking predominantly for the textile industries. Okay, if you're only spinning kind of things, then you can go for the raw material processing and all. Okay, and I am not finding anything who is doing ginning over here right now in the team. I believe uh, we don't have the cotton suppliers and all over here. Okay, if they are, then it's for them only. Okay, so make sure you should select only those where it's applicable for you. Okay, again, in a very simple terms, whatever you are invoicing. Okay, even for example, if you have a vertical industry, now the concept of vertical industries are more or less like absolute. What was the actually the vertical industry? People having the raw material of fiber, and then from the fiber they're purchasing the fiber, they are making yarn at their own premises, they are from the yarn to fabric in their own premises, and the fabric to dyeing and cut to premise the garment in the same premises, and there was no intermediate billing kind of thing. Means the whole spinning was captive working for the garment production. This is how the things were vertical, which is not nowadays. Okay, uh, which is not nowadays here, which is not nowadays here across the world. Means I have noticed, like, okay, if somebody has spinning, they have in the premises itself they have increased the spinning capacity. Probably that is not like that much quantity may not be may not have the capacity for processing. So in those condition, so they are selling those spinning outside. So spinning yarns, I would say the yarn they are selling outside. In those conditions, please consider yarn is as a raw material processing as well. So you have 2 or 3 segments to be considered over here. Okay, so based on the billing, please consider that. Otherwise, you will be confused with the the requirement which will come out later on. Okay, this is how you have to consider. Apart from that, I believe more or less people have understood what are the reporting years and all, total number of years, and then man days. Man days in the employees is nothing but the average employees what you have to give. For example, from January to December, if you have like 12 months, in 12 months every month how much you have paid or how many people have come to the facility. So take the 12 data average out, and that is what you have to give over here for the permanent employees or for the temporary employees as well. Annual volume, that's what I was telling. Based on the annual volume, whatever the facility types are there and the annual quantity, it's like, now it is too much like now here is also, you probably would have noticed most of the things are looking for the kilo. So kilo means kg is expecting. So probably universally in future, consider that you would have kg would be the only units probably it will become, because now we have this additional quantity information also to give it, which is going to be accept. But make sure that you can start working on the, or your people should know like how much kg we have supplied, how much kg we have supplied or like ship out. So that's what it is expecting. Apart from that, make sure you should not add anything which has been rejected. Question 4, question 5, it is the same. Kindly mute the mic if somebody has unmuted from. Okay. Does the facility have on-site wastewater treatment? This is like a simple question for the if whether you have WT or WWTP, all you have to give over here. People are also finding challenges when they are considering here for the wastewater. The biological questions is going open in the wastewater section. Yes, there are there. Lot of questions for the BOD5 checking is there, which is related to this particular question as well. But make sure that whatever is actually lying in your premises, please consider in the side info. These questions related to like a lot of like other sustainability related certificates and all. If you have like GOTS, JDSC, RCS, so you can select over here and you can add on. And then anything like you are doing apart from that HIGG, that is ISO 14001, M4E or STEP or many or any other kind of environmental assessment, you have to give the mandates and people like how many mandates you have been involved for that. Apart from that, again, the CDP disclosures and all these are the new questions which we have just discussed. Okay. Something related to permit, just for your information, this year, make sure whatever permits you have there, it should be renewed, it should be valid during the verification. If anything not valid, your whole, what I would say, the whole sections is turned to the zero. Okay, so make sure your all validity of your license and the permits to be intact. Okay. I have discussed this. I have understood like from the some of the meetings with this Wordly that they have accepted if there is a kind of real reason behind that. For example, I'm giving you like, for example, your permit is going to expire on December. So by and large, people are applying from 3 months in the advance. Okay. So if you have advance, if you have already applied in the advance of 3 months, still there is a issue from the government side and they have notified you that we have these concerns. So that's why we have not issued. Those type of case to case requirement will be case to case the consideration will be taken care of for this particular question. Otherwise, if you don't have any like eligible documents to prove that, then there's no point to going take this year. Okay, so just keep in mind it's a serious concern for you when if you don't have any permits and all. Okay, if you have any kind of government not notice if you receive, then you have to report it over here. And these questions will turn to like partial yes in some of the questions in the EMS that I'll let you know. Okay, so if you have any government issues, you have to given over here. Obviously, you will say no every time. But yes, sometimes what happen, brand know all these things. Sometimes you have been published on the on a paper, the newspaper, so you cannot avoid those conditions. Okay, so make sure you should have action plan. Here doesn't mean like if you have been penalized or you are having the show cause notice by the government you have done. No, 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 that's okay. If you have received, just make sure that you should have a proper action plan with facts and figure for the same. How do you get rid of those concerns which has been raised by the government? Okay. How you are like recordings, like, any or any record in like IPs and all basically for the China, you can have, they are like all those data, like they have the transparent things. So it means they are like transparent for all their data, whatever activity data they put on the IPs database. And then all the permits related to your like water, waste, energy, waste water, chemicals, hazardous waste, solid waste, like that. A lot of permits, whatever is applicable to your facility, your location, your provinces, your state, please upload that one. Okay. Now I'm going further. There's something which is very interesting. I just wanted to add on these slides. I have purposely add this one. Himadri was talking about net zeros and all. Okay, why it is important and why there's a why these has been changed. This what you say, how to HIG has changed. There is an idea behind this. What I'm just giving my personal comments. This like now name has changed from SSC to Cascade. Uh, the HIG has changed from Wordly. Okay, a lot of things are there behind. Probably it's going because uh, these are the requirement. It's not only the textile requirement. These are the global requirements like net zero and all. And that is what if the SSC or apparel word would be there, definitely the expansion of business will be restricted. So probably that could be the reason why the names are now changing. And the version has changed from 3.0 to 4.0. The reason could be if you really see the question which we are going to look on later on, it's all related to the global perspective. Now it's very much focused in the global perspective, like this figure which you can see, it is showing about like warming projection till 2100. Now we are in 2024. Okay, so historically if you notice this data, like this is nothing but the temperature, the average temperature of like for earth. Okay, from it was like this it has been calculated from 1990 because it has been assumed in the last 20 years the things has like drastically changed. So if we want like control our emissions, the temperature is going to be somewhere like this, and it would be around 4 degree by 20 degree 2020 2100. Okay, and apart from that, what these particular graph is showing, like it is expected, probably you guys knows in the COP 2015, the Paris, uh, it was considered led to restrict our Earth's temperature by 1.5 degrees centigrades. Okay, currently we are around 1.2 or something like that. Okay, so this is the condition where like it was expected, like we have to restrict our temperature by 1.5 degrees centigrade. That is to make it net zero, means we should not increase more than 1.5 of the temperature. Right now it's 1.2, 1.3 kind of thing, means we have only limited time to achieve the net zero. Net zero means we are not going to emit anything to the environment. So if we follow the net zero, so probably by 2100 kind of things we can have those things would be like what I would say, uh, those things would be accepted. Okay, and then if we want, if we have just consistently working on that, probably by 2 degrees centigrade, it's nobody can like avoid that. It's not possible. Okay, if we are only optimistic, we'll end up in 2.1. If you only take pledges and targets and will not do anything till we can rearrange the temperature up to 2.6 degrees centigrade. If you only make policies, we cannot restrict anything. We'll increase the temperature by 20 sorry 3.1, almost double what I would say. If we do nothing, we'll go up to 4 degrees centigrade, and there are a lot of climate change going to happen. Okay, so now if you notice, the things start means if you want to be accelerate the things, we have to start with the policies, targets, action, then result. If you notice, you will understand this is how the HIG 4.4 is actually been made up. And this is the same way how I am going to explain you all the module. Okay, everything start with the policies. So first and foremost, we have to come up with the policies and all. That is the reason why the level one is talking about policies. This year we are doing core verification to be utmost like very much stringent, like firm with this type of requirements. Okay, so this is how you have to think about like how the things. Can you please mute somebody? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is how like the whenever we'll discuss the module, you'll find the same trend on the questions as well. Okay, everything will start with the policy, which was not earlier in 3.0. Okay, so that's why I believe that all the things are going in the direction where it's the global requirement. Okay, so this is how people thinks about like how do we do the reduction, the net zero. Probably we also have as a brand, we have the targets of 2035 as a net zero, and then 2040 for the supply chains to be net zero. And this is how the countries are working. So countries, most of the countries have the 2050 as their net zero target. So that's how they have to make their own decarbonization plan. Decarbonization is nothing but the reduction of emissions to the activities. Okay, so just imagine a condition where we are talking about decarbonization. Okay, so you can understand the population of the world is not going to reduce. Number one, our depletion or usage of the natural resource is not going to decrease. Okay, so if we anyhow we are going to increase everything, so how do we decrease the emissions? Okay, so that is why it has been considered many of the questions here or given or ask the question in a way that even if we are increasing our resources, sorry, our consumption or depletion, still we cannot increase our emissions, our requirement, the water or energy. It's specific to the water, it is there. Probably future you'll get the energy as well. So we cannot increase the water consumption even if we are increasing the production. This is how the question has been given, because we have a limited sources in the earth. Earth is not expanding, right? Earth is a limited source. That is the reason why now you have seen the questions of absolute reduction. Absolute reduction, not the normalized reduction. So that is the reason we have the limited resources. We have to now think about we have to think about like a decrease, or we have to think about decrease in the absolute value. Absolute value means if you increasing your production, even the population increasing, but you cannot increase taking of more water, more energy. That is what it is like. Your module has been made up for the energy, water kind of things. Okay, so we have to have this decarbonization plan. Probably you're also getting from the. So what is this is the one of the interesting pictures of the net zero across the globe. Like only Suriname and Bhutan, they are already achieved net zero. All the things it is in the law. Now you can see even these are the European countries only which are in the law, and somebody of these countries which are only proposed legislation. You cannot find a big people like even India, China, or even US in these pictures. You can understand like how difficult it would be for them even to think about how we can achieve the net zero. Okay, Bhutan and Suriname probably would now have too much industries and they are more like a green belt, so probably they have achieved. Okay, now you can think about these are the things which you are going to implement in your module as well. Now we are going to start the EMS. Okay, so already I put one a kind of base and I'll talk in the same notions the moment I'm going with the questions. HIGG, as you know, this is an environmental management system, and we have like what are the things we are really have in the objective that obviously we should have the team, aspect impact, long-term plan, compliance to the law, awareness to the employees, subcontractor, contractor performance, how we are engaged our local subcontractor, or how do we are having our CSR activities. Okay, now let's go to the question by question. Some questions are easy, which I'm not going to invest too much time right now. For example, do you have a team? Again, it starts with a team. And then you have to give the details, something like this. You have to have the organogram of the environmental management team. Okay, don't give the company organogram. So those things like we can have here, and then you can give your objective, sorry, the job responsibilities, and what is the role, what is the segment, whether it's for water, energy, chemical. So this is how the things is going to be for them as well. So that is question number one. I have yeah, I have seen people are having pretty that I have no concern with this one. Now, this question, it was happened to be the question number 3. Now it's question number 2 in 4.0. Has your facilities have the aspect impact? So not aspect, this question is not aspect impact. This question is specific related to significant environment impact. Means obviously you have to conduct your aspect impact or environmental impact assessment in that which are the significant that you have to tell. So make sure that whenever you make it, you have to underline those things which are significant. So what could be the significant? For example, it's a cut to pack factory. For cut to pack factory, not everything could be significant. It could be energy, because all the swing machines, cutting machine, layering machines, boilers for the steam, for the ironing are working on the energy only. So energy could be, would be, and should be, I would say, it is the significant in the cut to pack factory. Obviously, the waste would be another where it could be, we can say that it's a significant. If something as per the law is important, you can add on those things. Okay. So here again, company to case to case, the things has changed. Make sure this question is not asking about everything, only the significant impacts of your own factory. Okay, why this has been asked? Because the next question or the later question are related to this. In HIGG, the questions are also interrelated. Okay, first question, a verifier will understand who are the people in the team. Most of the time I have seen like even those people were not available during the verification. It's only the name. What I would suggest, whoever the people are actively taken part in the HIG FPM, please be available during the assessments, sorry, verification, and respond to the verifier. Okay. And then these are like something an example of environmental impact assessment. And then you can understand, friend, like, there are like based on the impacts probability, then total how much it could be. Okay, the dust, air, blow. So you can have any of your own format. It's not like you have to follow this one. You can have various format with the activities, department wise you can have. So you can understand from here, these are the significant. So this is how it is asking in this question. We are not looking for everything, but yes, we are definitely looking for this one, whatever the significant. Okay, so this is how you have to work on that. Now again, it is coming, this is a new question. uh, does your facility have a company environmental policy? Previously in what I would say, in question number 2, it was long term plan, and most of the people only attach these policies. Okay, which was incorrect. Policies, long term plans are entirely different things. Okay, now you can get everything correctly question wise over here in the HICPO 4.0. So does the facility have company environmental policy? Obviously you guys would have your own policies. Okay, make sure that it should be from the top management. It should included your KPIs. It should be based on your own significant impact. Means in question number 2, whatever you are telling, these are my significant impacts. Those things you could like provide in the environmental policy, like energy, water, like these are like I have to reduce this, I have to reduce that. That is my policy, and how you are communicating to those things to your employees, your stakeholder, that also part of your own policies. Okay, so when you make your policy, you have to ask your miss like ask yourself that how your organization raise this environmental awareness, encourage participations. Okay, what are the impacts associated with your own company? Mainly we copy paste sometimes from other areas. It's okay, but make sure that you should read. I have noticed people, even they don't read those aspect impact or those policies, whatever is written over here. So that is why it is important, because these are all level 1 questions. Sometimes if brand send someone for your facility and check all these documents, probably that would be the tough time for you. So that is the reason, whenever you attach any kind of document, make sure that you should read, you should understand, those are relevant to that. And each questions are related to your own policies and purchase and all related to your own factories. Okay. And apart from that, communication, transparency. If you notice in a HIG 4.0, you'll find a lot of things which is more related to the policies and transparencies to the stakeholders. Okay, communication. Okay, this is how you have to understand. Now, question number 4, it was question number 2 earlier. Now 4, Unfortunately, we don't have verification of this question in even in the core verification. This is related to long-term strategies. Long-term strategy is 3.0, 3+ years. 3+ year means this year you are going to have the verification 2023. So for the 23, your long-term plan should be 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you show something for the 2027, then only you are been those targets can be accepted. If you say my baseline was 2020 and I have taken 5-year plan that is still 2025, no, not accepted. HIGG is every year we are doing it's on the calendar year basis. So that is the reason why they have given 3 years, even 3 years for the long-term plan. Long-term plan usually have a 5-year, 10-year plan. But here, since every 5 year you can change your long-term plan. So that is the reason why they have given 3+ only. So make sure that your calculation should be okay when you give your targets and with the actions and all. Make sure that whenever you give target, just be on blunt side. You should be very precise and you should like prove that how you're going to do this one and what type of long term target we should take. Again, the significant impact. So when a verifier will come, he would like to see like, okay, what is your question number 2, what you have selected. Question number 2, you selected energy. So obviously long term plan should be reduction of energy only, reduction of waste only. If that is all chronologically correct, then you are through with this type of question. Okay, something like that. You can have your own strategies for energy, water, waste, whatever is required for your facility. You have to set targets accordingly. Some examples you can see. This particularly I made it for you because like, for 2027 targets, we have to show our target for the 2027. Okay, so long term, when we say 3+, this is the 27 is going to work for you. Okay, and that is based on the significant impact. Sorry, yeah, significant environmental impact. So for the particular company, it would be carbon targets or greenhouse gas target or like water target, whichever is significant to you. You have to take the long term targets of that. Okay, now question number 5 was related to uh, uh, approvals and the renew of your permit. It was the same. It's a simple question. Probably we all have the system. We would have a ledger book or we would have a legal register. That's all. It should be have the dates, expiry date, responsible person. For the responsible person, what is the job responsibility? All these documents are available. We are through with this particular question number 5. Okay, something like that. You can have those factory license, expiry date, renew date. Okay, what is the issuing department, applicable, not applicable as per the law. This is how you have to make your own legal register. Question number 6 is more related to the significant impacts and or related to the law. Previous question was related to the permits. This question is related to the law. Means if the law changes, how do you come to know? How do you have been informed? If you want to inform, then you will get the so cost notice, right? This is how this question is all along. If you have selected or if you have no or sorry, if you have any notification in the south, in the what I would say in the side info section, in those condition, we would have I would say in those condition we would have partially yes in this question, because here then it has been asked for long term sorry action plans here. Okay, please understand this question. Question number 6 is asking about how you are getting information about the change in law or the local laws requirements. Okay, you definitely will show that I have a consultant, I have linked with, I have the access toward the government website. They keep on sending me the emails if something is there. Okay, you can show this thing. You are done, you are getting yes. But if you have in south side info section, if you are having any notice by the government, then this question will be by default partially yes if you have the action plans there. If you don't have the action plan, then you are excuse me, you are having no for this question. Okay, keep in mind this is important for you to understand, because level 1 we cannot afford any no. No doubt, you cannot see no. For example, if a verifier do no for you for this year, you're not able to find anything for your own score. Okay, but actually you are no, you are in level 1. Probably brands are looking all these things when you are going to share your module to them. They will notice, oh, you are even know in level 1. So this could be the tough time when you have this type of questions and you have not attempt correctly. Now question number 7. Does your facility provide training to the employee related to awareness? Is a general training for the employees, and that is what related to environmental strategies, the law or your KPIs. So all those things you have to tell the employees or give them awareness about that. Okay. Uh, for this type of question, very simple way how a verifier can catch you and he will understand whether you are really given training or not. He may ask you, okay, what is your energy reduction target? Do you know how much water reduction target you have currently? Just you ask yourself right now as well, whether you know exactly what is your target. Do you know your KPI of the company? Do you know your long-term plan? Forget about worker. It's for you. Okay, so make sure that you should also understand those strategies and all at your side. Okay, does your facility have documented procedure to enable? Yeah, this is the question. It was earlier question, but now this time it has come with the yes. Okay, it's a marks actually. Now, as we know, we are too much habituals about thinking about the health and safety. All type of trainings, what I have noticed, focused on the health and safety, which is must as per the law. Okay. Now the time has come where you have to also think about the environmental incidents or environmental awareness or environmental safety. Okay, so that is why these are questions are now when we talk about the sustainability, is obviously it's coming to the environment. Okay, health and safety is coming to the life and death of the person or the worker, whoever working on those regions. So that is the reason why it is important. Now it's time for us to think about environmental incident. You can understand if you yourself don't know what are what are your own KPIs and all, what forget about how we'll think about the other people as well. So that is the reason why they have this type of questions has been included for the environmental incidents reporting. Okay, how the reporting should be means it's like health and safety. If somebody got injured and all, there is a system in the company. So if there is an environmental incidences, what type of environmental incidents? Some water line has broken, some chemicals are coming out, some gases are flowing here and there, leakages are there. These are the environmental incidences, and a worker or a person or the staff should able to recognize to whom he has to inform all these things, and subsequently he will inform to the team and the team will work on the remediation. Okay, if this is the way you have, then you are through with this question. Okay, and there must not be any penalize of the information party, like when worker will inform all this information, all the conditions to the upper or the upper staffs and all, he should be not penalized. So if this is the culture we are following and we have the documentation of the environmental incidents book kind of thing, like we have the accident book, now the environmental incident book. So those are the documents which is going to help you out for the EMS 1.8 question. Okay, so environmental incidents reporting, this is like a system what you should have at your facilities. Okay, people should identify to the contact, he or she can escalate the issues, and he should not be penalized for the complaint. Okay, so this is all related to the question number 8. Now we are in question number 9. This is the same which we have in question number 6 earlier. This is maintenance, like schedule maintenance and all for your facilities. Okay, so it is expected that you have to have all those SOPs for your maintenance, for your operational or for your production machine, everything. Okay, so this question is interesting as well. There are 3 more questions added in this what you say in the in HIGG, which can relate to this one. A verifier may ask you, okay, show me, do you have the maintenance or schedule or preventive maintenance of the leakages of water? Number 1. They may ask you a report here itself. Do you have the maintenance or the preventive maintenance record or like scheduled maintenance of your air conditions, ACs? Do you have something like checkup or like maintenance? I would not say maintenance. He may ask for the reports, something like for the soil and all kind of things. Okay, so here uh, these are the questions, all are related to other sections as well. So here he may not ask you what is the maintenance for the sewing machine, these and the, because everybody have now those things available at their place. But people have the challenges with the scrubbers, for the boilers, for the genset maintenance. If you have those things, that is what is must needs to be preserved. Okay, so you could have your equipment for all this equipment for the operational production, make a log sheet. What are the SOPs? What are the like these are the SOPs like in 40, 50 kilometer means it's for the vehicle. But similarly for the machine, like a run 5 months, 6 months time, you have to do the oiling, greasing. Those are the things and what are the action plans you have. Okay. So this is what related to the maintenance. Now, this is the last question of level 1 of the EMS. The question is asking about like, can you confirm there is a no soil or groundwater contamination in the facility? Okay, all these questions have a relation of the requirements coming, thinking of the future. When I say like, if you notice, uh, probably if you, I'm not sure how many of you are like early 80s birth, or 90s, because during that time when I happened to be in my school, I used to drink water from the tap. Okay, it was nothing like mineral water or like Bisleri or Mum or whatever you have in your locations. It was not happened to be that time. But when I came into like my college in 90s, I realized that now we have to drink the bottled water, not the water which is on the railway station or on the platforms or on the public place or even in my schools. So by 1990s, we have understood like our water has been polluted. But the same concept was failure when a company called Bisleri came in 1965 in India, and it was a failure. And in 1970 75 it has been like it, they have to sell those companies to one of the company like Parley, who has purchased the company. And then in 2000 onwards, sorry, 1990 onwards, the water, mineral water concept came, because it took almost 20 years people to understand that water is now polluted. Probably future is the like probably we also assume means we also feel, for example, during the winter season, you can go and check to the metropolitan cities like Delhi, Beijing and all, like it was highly polluted. Means it's very difficult even to breathe. And we have a lot of like breathing issues. The AQI is quite high. That is the reason like even we have noticed like our air also is getting polluted. So for future, what would be the next? It is the soil only. If we contaminated our soil, then our life will be like what you say, havoc. So these are the preparations. So that is the reason why they have added these questions for the soil and groundwater. Okay, obviously it's a global perspective, but the things will start from your own home, right? So that is the reason for your factory. It has been asked whether you yourself don't have the practice or not. So that is the reason why this question come into the picture. So can you have like, how do we address this question? Obviously, a verifier will love to make no to in this question, because one question no means you are done with the level 2, level 3. Okay, so he will definitely go to the locations wherever it has been possibility to have the leakages, soiling, soil contamination. If you have everything RCC or the platform epoxies, then probably there's no soil water contaminations. Okay, for the groundwater, it's again pipelines and all. If it's the leakages of the wastewater lines and all, then there is a high chances. Okay, so these are the visual things he can come and check at your premises. Okay, number one. So be prepared. You yourself can do the internal audit and check all these things accordingly. And then second, the documents. What type of document we should do? You have to give now in your internal audit system also whether is the soil and groundwater contamination happening or not. Okay, so you have to have this document available. So after these documents, when you have this document, then you can say, yes, we are like, there's a process, what I would say. Okay. And then when there's a verification, obviously this documents is going to help you out for that, because you are keen or you are working on this like avoiding kind of contamination of soil and groundwater. Okay, but yes, you have to give some proof as well. Apart from that, it's also part of an internal audit. So add all this question in the internal audit system to be very sure. Because when you go for the soil investigation report, probably a small company will be bankrupt for the whole year. You cannot have those profits. The way the soil people, they miss a soil investigation report will ask you for the audit charges and all. So it's better to do the things by yourself. Okay, what are the what are the expectation? Obviously, when you make this document, you should have like what are the costs? What could be the, I would say, what could be the probable costs for your ground risk assessment? Okay. You can do your own internal assessment. What are the location? What could be the location? As I mentioned, wastewater area or the pipelines of wastewater. Apart from that, waste area, if the waste area is not, I would say, epoxy coated or RCC, where the chances where the contamination can leach out to the soil, or the chemical rooms, or like a boiler room, or where we have the oil and grease. These are the places where is a high risk for having the soil contamination. Okay, these are the location. So when you identify these things in your document, also give the remediation as well. Okay, if I have been like uh, what I say, if I have understood my location, you can give the remediation as well. Okay, so this is how the documents is all about. Okay, and nowadays people are smart enough to do the AI, right? AI, we have the chat GPT AI, which can automatically develop all these software now. So not the software, this document. I have just noticed some of the assessment people are the new guys. They are smart enough to make these documents. They go into the chat GPT and just type, make a report or the contamination report, investigation report, SOP, and it's everything is coming out like anything. And I was really shocked to see those conditions. Okay, so it's like 5 minutes job for the AIs right now to get these documents done. Okay, but make sure that whenever you make document, your location should also be the neat and clean. A verifier can only understand when he'll go and see all these places at your site, and then you are going to have these reports going to work out for that. Okay, only the reports not going to help you out if a verifier finding the contaminations. Okay, apart from that, if you could buy some testing kits, I would not say send the soil to outside. Why don't you test it by yourself, like how a farmer check their own soil by PS, ammonia, nitrates, phosphorus. These four things are very common to check whether the soil can give you, like, we can do the farmings as well. If you are doing the farming, that's enough to say that yeah, these are not contaminated. Okay, plus heavy metals. So if you go into the market right now, it's available. You can Google it. Yeah, even soil contamination kit, it starts from 800, 900 Indian rupees. That is how much is $12, $15 to 30, 35 or $50. $15 to $50. $15 will get the simple kit. $50 you will get including the heavy metal kit. So, and those kit will work for 2-3 years for many factories. It has an, I think 30 to 40 tablets or kind of, voice which can help you out to check the soil contamination. So this is how you have to go and you have to check your own your own facility, soil and groundwater contamination. Obviously, if you have the pure drinking water report, that's enough that you are not contaminating our groundwater. Okay, so this is how you have to respond to this, and we have to work on this. Make sure that this should be okay so far as ecological is concerned. Forget about the document, but yet it's a need and hour. As we understand, water we have polluted, air we are going to pollute. Why to what sustainability we'll keep for our future? So that is the reason now soil is coming to the picture. Lot of initiative across the world going to save the soil, groundwater. So that is the reason why these questions come into the level 1, and this year it has been checked out. Okay, now we are going into the level 2. You can put your chat box question on the chat box. After level 3, I'll check whatever the questions is there, and I'll respond to the accordingly. Okay, question level 2, 3 questions are there. Does your facility have, yeah, this question is quite simple. What I always say, this is the MRM, management review meetings required. In the management review meeting, make sure that all those significant impact HIG related questions to be discussed, and it should be the part of that. Okay. Then a verifier will happy to see, okay, these are the real MRM. It's not required every week kind of thing. Even once in a year, if it is there, because it's more related to environment, health and safety, probably monthly. What is the production weekly? But environment at least in a year, if you are making, if you are doing by month, sorry, monthly, that's fair enough. Okay, but environmental things require time. It's not overnight or monthly. It's like 6 months time or 1 year or 5 year. So that's why is the follow up is important, and the review meeting needs to be incorporate all those things like action plan, status kind of thing. Okay, now question number 12, does your employees have facility responsible environment facility responsible for environmental management have a technical competency required for this job? This question is asking about you should have a technical people. Technical doesn't mean that everybody needs from the top class MIT institute. You can have anyone from having good degree, not even bachelor, sorry, not even like engineering degree is expected here. It's required like competent means like somebody at least having 5 years, 6 year experience, even not having those particular relevant degree. Okay. Plus having evaluation of technical competency means every year there must be an evaluation of the person. Who are those person? Whoever the name you have given in level 1 first question, like all those EMS people. So they should be always evaluate, even if they are like master or MTech from any university. Every year it is competency checks required, kind of exams or kind of training followed by exams. Without exam, this question is like partially yes. Okay. So yeah, now question number 23, 13. Probably in this year, you will not find the questions in your HIG self-assessment. It's only the star. They've only given the question, not the question number. Whatever the number you can see here, it's from the how to HIG documents, which I have taken just for your information. Okay. So this question, does your facility have a program to build awareness of your environmental impacts and performance with your employee? Means this question is a tough question. This question is asking about environmental impact of your own employees at your facilities. Means your all employees based on their understanding, they also can tell about what are your environmental impact. Now think about this question is tough when the same question previously I was asking in level 1, and now this question level 1 with from you. From you I have asked like what are the your targets and all at your facilities. Okay. But here it is not you, it is also the other people, whether they know about your own environmental impacts performance. Okay, so make sure that everybody should have understanding on the environmental impacts at your facility. It's a tough job when I ask the same question from a worker. How to do or how to make them aware, it's a skill to tell or to explain these things, and these guys will understand what is impact. It's a skill for a HR or the training team, because it's not like people really miss. It's my observation, like trainings are training only, people really not take it serious when it comes into the what you say when come into the interviews. They may say, oh, I have taken training 5 months back, 6 months back. That is not we are asking over here. Whatever is there, it should be very clear in your mind, and then it should be responded to the verifier. Probably this year, maybe not even next year, no interview for this particular question. But yes, we are getting time to make our team to be aware of these environmental impacts. Okay, so you have to think about like how you'll make sure that your worker should also tell about what is impact. Like they may say if it is a cut to pack factory, which is what do you say, the labor oriented companies, they should know that yes, waste is important for me, energy is important for me. I am not expecting them to give the answer of GHG emission, GWP, blah blah blah. But yes, we are expecting them to have those like basic things. What is important for you to save? Energy is important for me. Waste is important for me. So this is how we can understand. So based on the like level hierarchy, people should have that much knowledge, and that is what it is all about. Okay, I believe this is level 2 questions. Yes, and then now we are in level 3. Level 3, what I've noticed, they have mitigated. These are simple now compared to this. Probably EMS is the scoring section. Okay, now what is the question? Does your facility monitor, evaluate, and engage with your subcontractor on environmental performance using HIGG index or other relevant or other, means it's not stick to the HIGG. Now there's no promotion of HIGG here now. Any type of environmental assessment, if your subcontractor is doing, accepted. Okay, now who are the subcontractor? For example, if you are a cut to pack factory and you have one pattern or one garment where you need a printing, your chest printing, so you're sending your garment pieces, the cut panels, to one of the printing unit, and they just give the print and then send it back to you. So those printing unit is your subcontractor, number one. Number two, for example, you are a cut to pack factory again, and but you don't have the washing unit. You're sending washing unit, washing to another place. So the washing people is your subcontractor. Okay. If it is a dyeing unit, in a dyeing unit, if you don't have the printing and we want to do the discharge printing of the color background, you are sending outside to the discharge printing. So the discharge printing person is the subcontractor. Okay, whoever involved in your business. Okay, so this is how you have to understand. Okay, now how we'll get the score in this question? For example, if you have two subcontractor, to get the full yes marks, both of the two subcontractor also doing something like HIG, even like ISO or M4E BEPI, any of this like environmental assessment, they also conduct. Okay, if they are conducting, all of them are conducting, and you are following them as well, then only you are getting yes. Means you have two subcontractor, both are doing some kind of environmental assessment, and you are following both for their improvement. How? M&S is behind you for your energy data or your carbon data. So this is how you have to follow your own subcontractor. Then you are getting full yes pass. Okay. If you are out of 2 or out of 5, you are only able to complete one supplier which is engaged in any of the environmental assessment, and you are following him for the improvement, you are getting partial yes. But if you are engaging one and you are not following, you are getting 0, means no. So it's not only you have to follow, you have to select or you have to encourage them for the environmental assessment. Also, you have to follow them. Okay, for yes and partial yes, you have understood now. Okay, now question number 14. 13 was related to our subcontractor. Yeah, even this 14. Uh, now question 15. 15 is related to upstream supplier. 14 was related to what I say, subcontractor. This is related to upstream supplier. Upstream supplier is your raw material supplier. So whoever is supplying raw material to you, they also needs to be engaged. Means you are procuring your raw material to the from the people who are actually using or following some kind of environmental assessment. Okay, so now, but there is a difference requirement here. Expectation, how it is here. Uh, for example, you have 20 suppliers. Obviously, raw materials are supplier, the numbers are huge. Okay, you have 25 suppliers. Okay, in out of 20 supplier, if anyone is doing any kind of HIG assessment, not HIG, I would not say specific to HIG. Yes, HIG is also okay. Any of the environmental assessment like ISO, BMP, BPI, and you are following them for the improvement, you are getting full yes marks. Understand? Here, you have to understand for all your raw material supplier, you have to only touch one, or you have to select one who is doing some kind of environmental assessment, and you are following them for the energy improvement, environmental. You are getting full yes marks. Okay, but the same person is there, but you are not uh, doing like you are not following for the improvement. You are getting partial yes marks. There's nothing like everybody has to do environmental assessment for this question for upstream supplier. Okay, so this question is easy when I compare with the last year. Okay, so uh, just for your information, for example, it's a dyeing factory. Dyeing factory is easy, I would say. For example, a factory is doing dyeing, then they are the dyeing people are getting colors as a chemicals, and then weaving that gray fabric. These are their raw material, that they are the supplier. 90% of like the traditional supplier of chemicals like Huntsman or Archroma or whoever like Diastar, they are having some kind of environmental assessment. So definitely you will get partially a mark. Okay. And a garment industry, they are lucky people because most of them, the dying people nowadays doing HIG at least. So you are getting, probably you are getting full yes marks. Okay. So this question, that's how it is easy or lenient as compared to last year. Okay. Now this is the last question related to the environmental improvement for your local community. So if you have anything related to your local community, like if you are not in the facility, inside the facility, outside the facility, if you are doing something for your village for environmental, don't consider this for the health and safety by supplying napkins, sanitary pads. These are not acceptable here. Only like if you are doing kind of a cleanliness, a cleaning of the area, waste area, doing some river cleaning, bank cleaning, or you are providing lights, the eco-friendly like waste generation, reduction of waste, giving some kind of seminars for reduction of waste, or telling about your facilities savings and them to encourage. Apart from that, if you are involved in your policies, environmental policies with your government, those are the points where you can have like engagement here for this particular question. If you have the best way, you can always show your budgets, like whatever you have invested. It will be very easy for a verifier to be convinced out from the actions what you have taken. Okay, so there are so many things, like it's not only that you have to go and do something, you can also engage your local government bodies, and if you have been engaged your local stakeholder, any of these things like kind of a CSR activity, including you are doing, you are getting full yes in this question. So I think that's all I believe for the EMS. So before going to energy, let me see if I have any questions on the chat box. I don't think. Yeah, there are some questions. So many questions, my God. Can you please describe this? Okay, already Cascale, I think some Himadri already explained as to the rebrand itself changing, has changing name to Cascale. Okay, any possibility? Yeah, you will get this PPT. Cut to pack. mm, Cut to pack. I didn't understand this question. Cut to pack and screen printing. This is the question from Mr. Mohammed Hosne. Cut to pack factory and screen printing. Which one will be selected? Whatever you are doing the shipment, select that one. If you're shipping even the printing, so you have to select both the finished product assembly and finished process. Training deck will be shared with the original accessibility. Yes, okay. Every year we undergo an assessment like stack air assessment ODS. Will this cover the question inside info regarding in? No, 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 no. Testings and all is not the part of that. Or even the air assessment. The environmental assessment are typical environmental assessment considering everything. Okay, I know this stack air and all people conduct for the whole. This is a part of only air emission. If we doing ironing, we should select a finished. If you are doing only ironing, then it's a finished product processing or only finished. If you are doing no, the question is if we doing ironing, means I believe the ironing would be part of stitching cut to pack factory. But if I can understand your question, which is only you are doing ironing, so ironing only that finished product processing or only finished product, we have cutting, sewing, ironing packages. So then it's the process assembly. Only select finished product, final product assembly. Does the finished product assembly include in-house? Yeah, it also include in-house washing if you're not selling or if you are not doing washing billings. Again, I'm telling you for this question. Then Vikas, everywhere we are conducting meta order. I know. Yeah, this is also part of a kind of environmental assessment. That's okay. Uh, I have cut to pack facility along with embroidery and washing as a part. Can I select? Yeah, if you are not doing any invoicing for only embroidery, only washing, you only select the finished product assembler. Sir, we have one production building and under this we have printing, embroidery, garment. Now, okay, again, I'm telling you the same. If you have like I believe all this belongs to you only, the printing, embroidery and garment. And if you are doing only the shipment of garment, then you select only finished product assembly. Otherwise, when you know why there is a confusion, which I always feel with this side info, because HIGG say you have to give the shipment value, and shipment value boxes will only come when you'll open or you'll opt any of these any of these what I say, any of these sections. When you open, then only it will come down. Otherwise, if you select everything and if you are not doing the shipment, then you have a problem with the data to give in below, that is the production, and also in the water section, energy section, because everywhere it is opening. So that is the confusion, and lot of things will be like incomplete when we select so many things in the site info boxes. Permit is the same PCB license, right? Yes. Consent. That is the consent. PCB license means consent, I believe. Who is this? Lakshmi. Yeah. Uh, what production volume we share? Shipment or shipment, not production. Only shipment value. What production volume we share? Production generate in the premises. Obviously, shipment of your own production. If the facility has a weaving, bleaching, dyeing, printing, yeah, you have to select 2, 3. Okay. Uh, Again, the question is if you are bleaching, dyeing is a one process. I don't think that nobody's selling RF. Okay, if you are selling RFD, again, this is a question. Okay, now you have to understand what type of billing, what type of invoicing you are doing. So based on invoice, you select the your facility, because then only you give the shipment value below. Otherwise, if select everything, then you have a lot of boxes will be there. Then you end up with the giving the value of production rather than shipment. So that is the problem. And similarly, then you have to give all the information about energy, water for each sections. Okay. If you are not doing the shipment and you have added. So please very choosy. You can try all these things. Voice is not clear. Is it breaking? I'm not very sure. Probably it would be. I have a question in level 1, question number 6. Please share the PPT after training. Okay. Kindly write the question, Mr. Atur Rahman, because then I'll understand what is the problem with the question number 6. Please share the PPT. It's okay. Please share the PPT. PPT. Yes. We also use it. Okay. Our long-term plan baseline is 2020 and target started 2025. Not accepted for that particular question. Question number 4 is not accepted for 2025. That's what I have explained. A verifier is going for the status of 3+ year. So now for 2023, it will be 23 to 24, 25, 26, 27. If your target is going up to 27, then yes. But here is 2025. No. Anyhow, this question is not going to verify this year as well. Can we get the copy of recording? Probably yes. Request to please share the printing. How do you answer if you do not have not applicable? This one is not applicable. Naresh RM. Our baseline is 20. The target 20. The long. This long-term target is not going to accept. This is only your water energy target where we can accept. Please understand. There is a difference between target in EMS and target in energy, water and waste. Energy, water, waste target is, you can say energy, water, waste target is more like yearly target, which is accepted. Means next year what I'm going to do. Okay, how much I'm going to save, or like how much I can reduce kind of thing. Okay, but this target, uh, long term target is 3+ year. So it's a your wish, your future plan. That's what it is asking about. So be very clear when you select these. Don't copy paste the same document in long term and in the wastewater particular sections. Okay. As we are doing process of fabric in meters, my question will be how it. Okay, obviously the GSM is the answer. You have to start working. You know, you can give answer in the, you can give value in the meter this year, but make sure that you should ask your team what type of average GSM you are working, and from the GSM you can convert into the kg. What will be the production amount in HIGG verification, finished product or shipment only? I'm again tell you, shipment, only shipment. You know, I can understand this question. It happens like why they are asking for the shipment value, because it's yearly basis. So for example, whatever we did the production of December 31st, 2022, it's probably, sorry, December 31st, 2023, it's not shipped. So we are not taking that one. But whatever we have shipped in 1st January 2023, we have to take in those accounts. So that is the reason, like it will be average out when we do this year on year basis. So I can understand, like, yes, shipment could be production and shipment could be have. And another thing, HIG is not encouraging you to do the inventory. Okay, so whenever you are doing the shipment and you have to just finish it off. If you keep on inventorize the things, again, it's not going to work to get the score or to check the improvement on year in year on year basis. Okay, please confirm now this verification level 1 will be verified. No, this is only level 1. Can you suggest me some verifier who is doing verification for, or no, yeah, you can go and check, everything is available online. Our process are dyeing, knitting, sieving, cutting, finishing. We selected one and both. Is it okay? What you are doing shipment? Just check. I think dyeing, knitting. If you are doing knitting, probably you are sending or selling knitting fabric, gray fabric. You have to select one for that raw material processing. Dyeing, then you have to check for the material processing, dyeing, washing, sieving. You have, if you are sending the garment also, means selling the garment also, you have to select the final product assembly as well. So please consider whatever you are doing the shipment, then based on that, you can have this one. We are vertical factory. Our finished fabric is okay. We have spinning also. What should we select? Okay. Are you sending, selling, or the doing shipment of yarn? Then you have to select different, the yarn also, and then you have to have the fabric as well. Is the facility type, what should be we? Okay, we have cut to pack factory, also have one to embroidery. So final. Okay, embroidery again. I think these are the same questions people. Let me again tell you whatever. First, you write a question what you are doing shipment, then I'll respond you much correctly. Check in internally whatever you are doing the shipment, then I'll let you know what are you need to be shipped. Sorry, you have to select in our internal production in kg and shipment production in pieces. What to select? Internal production is kg, and what I can understand is a cut to pack factory. So pieces is okay. You can select pieces as well. We have RMG, ready-made garment, fabric dyeing, garment seamless, knitting, printing, embroidery. Suggest please. Whatever again I'm telling you the shipment, then based on that I'll suggest you. Into 2023, I'll do one thing. I think the same problem is there everywhere. I'll again come up with all those that particular slide, especially for the shipments and all. Tomorrow again, you just come up with your question again, what exactly you are doing shipment, then I'll tell you what you have to select it. We have submit to production. What is the reason of rebranding? That's what I told. Probably Cascale by the name Cascale, they can go to automobile industry as well. So have they an agreement? No, no, no. That's all. Probably it's a business thing. I believe it's a lot typical non-technical answer what I'm giving. Probably it's their own wish and will, a business plan of growth that's there for this name changing. Please confirm now the verification level will be verified up to level 3. Okay, done. Is the facility GHG emission included in border corporate? Yes. What with the better what would be answer for this is the facility corporate. So if you are doing any disclosure of your GHG emission in your sustainability report, CDP carbon disclosure plan, then you can say yes for this one. We don't have STP for domestic waste on now. My question is how can I input BOD? You ask me again this question during wastewater, but let me try this one. We don't have STP on the domestic water. Okay, now my question is, how can I input BOD level? If you don't have BOD, if you don't have STP, so leave it. Then you in your what you say in your what you say in your applicability, you have to change it. That's all. You should not select STP. You can I believe if you have a septic tanks, then you have to do some kind of testing, which is absolutely new for me as well. If you share, we would be appreciated. Baseline is according to the shipment. Baseline comparison is as per the shipment. Here we are not doing anything in the production. Sir, high baseline setting for the production. How baseline setting I production or kg? How baseline setting? I didn't understand this question. Who is this? Mr. Horian HTF. Can you just explain it later on? I didn't understand your question. How baseline will come again in the energy for the baseline probably you'll understand. Last year we have finished product. This year, if you are going for the shipment volume, this will there not to be some, please understand, even last year it was the shipment only. Probably your verify has not told you correctly. So if let's forget it, that case, correct it this year, doesn't matter. We have not washing, printing and dyeing, but we maintain subcontract also. And also we what is the time? 12 o'clock. We have not washing, printing and dyeing, but we maintain subcontractor. Also we upstream supplier. Now suggest how we can show their HIGG information. No, you need not to show. You have to get their HIGG information portal, share, ask them to share with you how brand is asking for from you, and also communicate email for their improvement. That's what it is expecting. Thank you for the presentation on yarn dyeing Turkey. I choose a title of material production, the facility type is the information factor. The answer is to other question. Do not address the yarn dye. There's a which work do which raw material processing. You just check. You'll get the yarn dyeing there as well. Answer: should I choose? Can I leave it blank? No. Yarn dyeing is there. There's a in raw material processing, you go and check, you can get the yarn dyeing. So the yarn dyeing. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll try to get the screenshot for you for the yarn dyeing especially. Okay. Our process are dyeing, knitting, washing, sewing, cutting, finishing. Shipment is finished product. That is garment pieces, then finished product. If you are doing everything, you are not shipment any washing, you are not doing any finishing. Everything is your own, only garment for your shipping, only collect final product assembly. Please share the printing. Okay, thank you. I think let's go to if we collect. There's one more question. If collect suppliers, yes, that's what is asking. You have to get the certificate, and but you have to get the you have to ask them for the improvement as well, like how brand is asking probably in your region. Who are this? Vikas, maybe from India, I believe Mani or Himani may ask you many questions related to what you say, related to energy or GHG or like energy data. So this is how they follow up with you. You have to follow up with your upstream and downstream supplier. But yes, The certificate is another thing which will show that yes, they have been engaged for that. So both things you can have. You can ask for their, if they share their module, your life will be easy. So you can check everything. And you can always say that how I like, inform to the team for the same. Okay, so let's go back to the GHG. So we have half an hour time approximately for lunch. So I'll try to finish energy. Okay. Um, Energy sources this year we have purchase means these are the, like, whenever you'll open, you'll find all these things. Again, there are a lot of confusion when people fill this one. Many times these are asking the same question. No, there is a problem with the font. If you really see the font, they will clear in very small font, like what is for the like, vehicle or like external vehicles kind of thing, or for the excluding vehicle for the production. So every time they have asked the same kind of sources, which maybe probably pissed all of us. Okay, so these are the typical, like you'll get 3 times probably, I believe. uh, Now again, this year they are asking for separate energy detail for the domestic and production. So, so if you have the domestic, we have to separate. What is mean by domestic? Domestic is your office area, kitchen area, security, external lighting. All those are medical centers are your domestic. Production is purely production. Even uh, wastewater treatment plants that is domestic, it comes under the domestic energy. Means for the motor subblower which you use for the STP or domestic wastewater treatment plant, is all comes under the domestic. For production is purely industrial wastewater treatment production, operational job, whatever is that energy you are using, that is for the production. Okay. So if you are mixing your wastewater in domestic into the industrial, then everything for the wastewater would be industrial only. Okay, that is the challenge, because probably I don't think I have seen the factories where people have one building, everybody sitting there, even the office is there, admin is there, how they will segregate those things. Okay, it's time to come to reorganize. It's time to come where we have to have like separate, flow meters or energy meters for non-productive work. Okay, this is the reason why we need, because finally we have to check or we have to control on those emissions as well. Unless and until you have the proper tracking, all going to be the waste. So if your facility able to separate reporting composition by each facility type, this question is asking when you consider so many things or so many shipments, you will find like a lot of information will come over here. Okay, so a lot of boxes will come. So if you have those things separately, you say yes. Otherwise, it will be like last year only, like on single one. Okay, but obviously you are going to lose the marks. Okay, so in future you have to make sure that you have to have separate reporting for your every sections as well, the shipment sections as well. Okay, now this question start with the select all the source of energy for your facility. Now this is typical for your production, and that is not including your company owned vehicle and control vehicle, means like your forklifts, like your vehicles, which will take material from one go down to another go down. So whatever the vehicles is running inside the factory for your own production, those energy, those electricity data you cannot give here. Now this is the complex question. For example, if you have a forklift and forklift is lying in the production and you charge your forklift in the production, then you have been gone. Because now the question is asking forklift to be separate, because excluding the company owned and control vehicle. Okay, so in those conditions, we should have like even the charging station in the other area where we can really understand how much is the electricity we are putting. If you have EV electrical vehicle, the EV charging station should not be part of your production. It could be in the same area, but you should know how much electricity you are consuming for the charging in the whole year. So now that is a different question. Obviously, this question is all the energy excluding those what you say, the vehicle fuel or energy data. Okay, so this is the purely for the production. And then, yeah, the one question is also over here. Uh, there are sub question biomass, if it is like from the certified source, non-certified, 99% non-certified source in our cases. GHG emission factor. GHG emission factor changes from the country to country every year. So if you have this question, you want to give, if you want to give, because it doesn't have the kind of score which you are going to reduce. If you give, if you want to wish, you want to give the GHG emission factor of your country, you can give it, but you have to give the link from where this did you get that particular data. Okay, so those things you have to understand. And then only you can use. If you say no in those conditions, what happen, HIG will automatically will take their own factors, whatever is best of their knowledge. Okay, so only the difference. So sometimes what happen, people have only the concern, okay, what I am checking or what I am doing the emission factor calculation, it's not matching with the HIG. My Excel is different data, and Excel, sorry, HIG is different data. Uh, so this is how it is all about. So make sure that if you have your own factor, add it over here. Okay. Similarly, for the purchase team, probably it's in China. If you have the purchase team, you have to give the energy sources. Like what are the energy sources? Is that if you are purchasing the purchase chilled water, then again GHG factor for the chillers and all whatever is there. And if you have the purchase heating, then purchase renewable, whatever is applicable for you, give the emission factor. Otherwise, they will take it by themselves. So this is some of the country specific factors in 2022. Since we are going for the 2023, some countries not yet change. It is the same. So probably you can have the same. You can put all these values accordingly in your place and give the link for the documents. Now, another sub questions like whether you have the on-site solar, wind power generation. So you have to say yes, no. If you have the photovoltaic, give what is the capacity. Then what is the total diesel percentage for your generator? For example, you are using diesel for various places. So out of that 100%, how much percent contributing by generator? Okay. If you have the biodiesels kind of thing, means if you have a diesel which is blended, what happened nowadays, ethanol is allowed to blend. Okay, up to 20, 30, 40 we can add. We can also use as a fuel. Okay. So when you add biodiesel or what we say ethanol, it will reduce your emissions factor. So that is why it is asking over here. Okay. So if you have those data, please add on because it's going to ultimately decrease your emission factor at your like GHG emissions form. Okay. So these are the documents, whatever is like related to energy purchase invoices, like what is the energy certificate, biomass certificate, whichever is relevant for your energy source, you can add on. Now, first question was related to non-vehicle. Now this question is related to the vehicle. So make sure you can only select those whatever is applicable for your vehicle. Company owned vehicle means that vehicle is belongs to the company for 24/7. Okay. If you have a case, for example, you have a vehicle which you took in the lease, it come in the morning, do something, and then went out in the afternoon, do their own work, and then come in the evening, that's not company owned vehicle. Okay. If something is like on the lease for 4 years, 5 years, and he's doing exclusively for you, that is company owned vehicle. Control vehicle, the same, the control vehicle where you have your own controls over here. Okay, 100% 24/7. Okay, you should not include again all those data where you have already given in the energy, the total energy. Why I am repeating this question, the statement, because what happened, uh, there could be a possibility of double introduction of the values, because if you estimated, if you added something related to what I said for the energy data for the forklifts and all, and the same energy is already there in the invoice. So then we are giving two values. Okay. So that is the reason why we have to avoid those duplication. Make sure that you have the correct data. Okay. Select all the sources of fuel company. Okay. These are the fuel sources: ethanol, diesel, electricity, the same, the first slide which I have shown, the purchase renewable, these and that, everything will come in the same form here for you as well. Okay. Now, question number 3 is related to EAC IRAX rack certificate, energy attribute certificates. If you are purchasing any energy attribute certificate, then give the values over here, like how much you have purchased for that particular year. This is EAC. This is not the purchase renewable. Okay, don't confuse yourself with renewables and RSC. RSC is required hard copy or the physical certificate. And that is what you have, and that should be in your company name, issued in your company name, also retired in the total 2023 in your name. Then only it's accepted as a EAC certificates. Okay. So again, company to company differ. Sorry, country to country it's differ. In India, it's IRAC. In Bangladesh, I believe it's IRAC. Somewhere is the RAC. So again, you check locally like what is applicable for you, and that you can use it. Similarly, for the offset, purchase of offset, like how we purchase the energy attribute certificate, there are also the carbon credit, carbon offset certificates available. So you can also, if you're purchasing that as well, so you can have, these are the ideas like how you can show yourself as a carbon neutral. Okay, it's not going to be anything like net zero. It's more like carbon neutral, what we are trying to have with this type of certificates. Okay, use only one certificate. Sorry, whatever the certificates we are using, add it over here. For carbon offset, the difference between these two, EACs will be in megawatt. You'll get the megawatt certificates, kind of 1 megawatt, one certificate. Probably, I believe it's like $1 approximately for 1 megawatt. You can get the certificate. Similarly, for the offset, I didn't find any offset people who is purchasing of offset. Miss, those bodies are not available in my region. Probably you have to check like whether we can purchase those carbon offset, and these values will be in kg sorry, metric ton empty CO2. Okay, so that's the difference between carbon offset and EAC. Carbon offset, even those companies who have taken target, who reduce their carbon, they can also generate those carbon credit certificates and then sell as a carbon offset. Okay, but again, there must be a governing body who approved all these things. It's not like by wish and will you yourself can do, and you reduce your energy and you show that now I can issue the offset certificate and sell. That's not the case. Okay, you have to have like linked with the governing body. They will approve all the certificate. So that's the there are sub questions again, again, it should be registered. The offset should be registered and expired in your name. It will be in metric ton CO2, which was megawatt in case of EAC, that an energy attribute certificates. Okay, so you can have those documents available. You have to attach it. You have to give the proof that it has been in your name. Okay, now come to the question number 5. Does a facility track any of the energy used? Now, there are two questions here. Any of them is, you have 4 energy sources. If you are selecting all, uh, this question is asking for the one. If you are selecting any one, by default, you are getting yes. Okay. Uh, but there is another additional question. Does your facility track each of the sources? Means here you have two things, partially yes and yes. Previously, this question is only having yes. So 99.9% people would have the yes in this one. They don't have any, means it doesn't have any partially yes marks. Okay. Similarly, for this one, like question number 6, you have to have if you're tracking each and everything, then you are getting yes. Or if you are missed out with any of this, you can get the partial yes marks. Okay. So this is how you have to score in that particular question. Okay. Now, additional question will come. Does your facility identify track separately each of your energy sources, that is in the domestic and production? This is a crucial question. What I have noticed, probably you don't have those things, because what happened the moment you say yes, yes over here, you have a lot of sub question, other question will come in level 2, that is for the baseline. When you say yes, I track separately domestic and production. So in that case, you have to give the baseline of that particular year. Probably you wouldn't have. So make sure when you do this and you can make it, you should have all those documents or things available for that particular year when you have selected the baseline. Okay, so this is the challenge with when we select both domestic and production as a yes. Does your facility track energy separately? Again, this is the same question. Means again, you have to give all the data, all the billings or whatever, maybe like the baseline you have to have that. And what is the domestic you have understood? Like that is related to the office admin, then WTP, sorry, STP, canteen, medical room, all this comes under the domestic. So tracking of those areas. Production means production. That's what we were doing earlier. Okay. So how do we check all these things? A verifier will check your utility bills, your fuel consumption, your meters, sub meters, even the estimation is techniques are correct. Even it should have like, a kind of like methodology, a correct methodology should be there on estimating. You just cannot, calculate things on air for this type of energy data. Okay, it should be weekly, monthly, anything is acceptable. You can maintain your own Excel and then show it to the verification. Okay. Does your facility track energy fuel from each source of company owned vehicles and all? Okay. Now this question is related to your own company vehicle. All the vehicle are you selecting? Sorry, are you sourcing or you are having the tracking data? If all yes, if you have some partially yes. What I have noticed practically, probably you can get the diesel data for all the vehicle for the whole year, but it's very difficult for the forklift data. Okay, forklift energy data to get it separate. So probably I think 99% of people are getting partial yes in this question. Okay, now we are in level 2. Has you set has your facility set a baseline of any of its energy use? Obviously, if you select all for the baseline is the year where you have all the things are streamlined. You have all miss your productions are streamlined, miss. Then there is no installation, demolition of machines. In those conditions, that particular year you can consider as a baseline year. So from the baseline, you can source all the source. You can say source. Sorry, you can select all source. You can select few source. It's all up to you. But I would say select all the sources because all this data needs important to get you full yes marks. Okay. If you select some, so some will become for the targets and all. Then you have the challenge to get the score. Okay. Then which energy source does your facility set the baseline? Okay. First, whether you set the baseline, yes. Then now the which sources. Okay. So this has the facility means you have to give the baseline data, normalized data, absolute data, whatever you are following. You can use the same normalized with per piece or per meter per kilo of energy consuming. Absolute with absolutely like the total. Okay, now which energy source does your facility set on based on the same question? So you have to give like absolute value or normalized value, say like absolute the data like normalized is on your per pieces. That's what we have just discussed. Okay. This is how is the example absolute is the total data. This is 0.15 kilowatt per piece of shoes. So that is what, because all the comparison in level 2, we a verifier will only check by the normalized data. If you say that I have reduced my absolute value, you're not going to get the what you say the marks. He will check everything. If you normalize reduce, then it's going to work. If you absolute reduce and your production was not there, so definitely the energy will be reduced, which is not the case and it's not accepted. So do not have like, report your baseline, which is not accurate if you don't have the data. Okay. If you don't have if you have the insufficient data, don't again report it. And if you have like estimation data without correct methodology or, accuracy estimation, don't use that one. Okay. Lot of things like we have to use it like from the utility bills, current data. Does your facility know what facility process? And this is the same question we had yesterday, last year as well. This question is asking about energy. Make sure you respond for the energy. For example, cut to pack factory, it's not only the power, that is electricity, which is coming, but also the steam. So you have to understand for a cut to pack, like for the sewing machine, only one source of energy, that is electricity. But when it comes to the table, the cutting table, it would have the electricity, it will have also the steam. So both the energy, when you add, then that's the actual energy. So when you see, because I have seen a lot of people make mistakes in processing house as well. Like if they are having weaving and all, they say what are the highest machine? They will say compressor. Somebody say boiler. These are not the correct answer actually. When you really calculate what actually energy consumed to run, then you will find if it is a process house, go and see the Stanter. That would be the machine which is going to have the highest electricity as compared to compressor as well. When we say energy, it is not only the electricity or power which is applying to the compressor, it is also the thermic fluid. Thermic fluid per chamber will approximately 1 kilocalorie, 1 lakh kilocalorie. Just imagine. One chamber, 1 lakh kilocalorie is required. So if you have 5 chamber instanter, you can say on an average 5 lakh kilocalorie per hour plus electricity. You'll never get in comparison with the compressor. Okay, so this is how you have to understand this particular question. Okay, now the question is related to the improving the has your facility set target for improving energy use. Now this question is energy use target. There are two targets in HIGG for the energy. What is one is the energy use target, like you have to select how you can reduce your energy, and then another how you can reduce or you can have the improvement in your GHG emission. Both are different. Okay, when the target is for the energy, yeah, when is target for the energy means you have to work on the machines. Don't give targets like I am going to install solar or wind in this particular energy target. Solar and wind will not reduce your energy. It is reducing your emissions. So that is the answer for your next question, not for this question. When we say improvement target for the GHG emission, then it makes sense for the solar here. Here you have to do machine optimization, machine energy optimization. That is what it is asking. So don't confuse with this target and that target. When it comes for the GHG emission, you can apply, you can definitely improve in machine, which can ultimately reduce the emissions, but also by the adding solar, by adding wind to your premises or for your then for your purchase, you can always reduce the emission. So that's what you have to understand. Again, it could be absolute and it could be normalized. So this question 14, as I understand, this is related to the scope 1, scope 2 for the GHG emissions. Okay. Just for your information, I just wanted to show you another thing. I'm not going for the workshop. Just for your information, as I mentioned, there are two targets. One is for the energy improvement and another is for your GHG emissions. Okay. Okay. This is energy improvement. How we'll do? Obviously, you have to check what is your consumption, baseline consumption. For example, 2022 is the baseline. I have electricity, this one, diesel, this one, natural gas, this one. So first process, convert everything into the megajoule. Everything in the megajoule, then you will understand what is the percentage of each source. Okay. When you do the percentage, then you take the target. For example, the value of electricity and natural gas contributing more than 90%, then you take the target on electricity reduction and natural gas reduction. These are the concept, please understand. Okay. So if you don't need, you can leave even for the diesel. Diesel is not necessary to take the target. You have to only contribute, only take the target which is contributing 90% of your energy, not power. So when we multiply 3.6 to this, 38 to this, and 39.8 to this value volume, you will get the megajoule. From the megajoule, you can understand how much is the 90% contributing. So probably if the electricity is only 90% of your energy consumption, only take target on electricity. Okay, this is how you have to understand. Now, when we come for the scope 1, scope 2 emissions target, obviously, first you have to convert everything into the emission factor. So from here, you can always see like from the what is the emissions, like for example, for the natural gas, we have like in my value is in meter cube. So this is the factor. So from these factor, we can multiply and we can get how much is the carbon emissions from the natural gas. Similarly, from the diesel, if we are having the liters, from the liters, how much is the kg CO2? Okay. If this is there, then you can understand what exactly I am producing. And when I will implement solar, how much it's going to decrease. So this is how you have to understand for all of your questions for the target. Target action plan, as I'm repeating, for energy, you should do something to energy reduction in the production. For GHG reduction, you can have the solar and wind and even the energy reduction machine. So then only it's going to be correct. Okay. As I told you, you have to consider those sources which contributing more than 90%. Okay. I think now you have to make your own implementation plan. Does a facility implement to improve the energy use? So you have to make your implementation plan. Means how do we reduce the energy? See, is as simple as that. So give your like action plan. What are the deadlines? Who is going to address, and who is going to like what are the actions and what are the ROI, return in investment? Everything's to be there in the implementation plan. Otherwise, implementation plan of no use. Only giving actions or only giving 1 or 2 lines not going to work. These are the management approved emergency plans, what we say. Okay, so each and every details to be cited means how you can take money from management unless and until you have the proper plan, and that is the plan which is we are asking over here. Okay, then there's a audit. I think we can take a break now. It's almost, yeah, it's 12:30. Okay, Himadrida is there.
Yeah,
Can we take break for lunch if
yes,
I'm if not wrong? Yeah, it's the correct time, right?
yeah. It's for a prayer break. Maybe you
Yeah.
can take a break for 30 minutes.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Right. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you. Yeah.
Roshan Bhai,
Marabba.
Roshan Bhai,
Yeah, Baba.
how are you?
Good. Good.
Everything is fine?
All well.
Okay. I just wanted to say hello. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
সময় নিচ্ছে নাকি কতক্ষণ আগে?
না এটা তো মনে হয় যে দেখলাম বাইরে নিয়ে লোকজন তো আছে সবাই দেখা যায় দেখছো
সবাই নামাজে বেঁধে নিচ্ছে
Okay, we can start the session now. Okay, Himadri, are you there? Okay, I think.
Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I'm looking for Mr. Himadri. Okay, I think he's not there. Okay, let me start the session. Okay.
Hi, Roshan Afrin here.
Yeah, friend. So
Afrin,
I'm
we
going
can
to
see.
start. We can
Yes,
start, right?
yes. 289 participants have joined already. Can
Okay.
see. So
Okay.
yes.
No problem.
Roshan, thank you for your information, all you have given. We like
Thank
it
you.
very much.
Thank you, Baba. Okay, let me. Okay. Okay, so we were at level 2 question. Has the energy audit been conducted for your facility within the last 5 years? So now these are the questions which are like included new in level 2. So here what we are looking right now, like you should have like in last 5 years, you would have a kind of assessment, the energy assessment that would be around uh, uh, level 2 kind of assessment. They have given ASHRAEA, but what is that ASHRAEA? Like there are three type of assessment usually happen in energy. Okay, one is like general survey, that is walkthrough. In that, like only the tracking data is like usually we check like some government audits and all how it works. So those are level 1 kind of audit. And then second is like where we have obviously the tracking as well as for the uh, uh, tracking plus like improvement plans and like recommendations be the part of those type of assessment. That is the level 2 and it is what is expecting. Level 3 is more into the capital investment, leading best practices in implemented or investment for the facilities. So these things are like for the level 3 energy assessment. Okay, so here we are only looking for level 2. Probably you do packed audits and all. These are all kind of level 2 assessment. And if you would have done in last 5 years, so this is going to accept. So once in a 5 year, this is expecting. Okay, now these are the questions which is now actually looking for like new things, whichever like people are using wherever the coal. Now, does your facility have a plan to phase out your coal? So now you have to give a plan where you can remove your coal from your facility. For this question, obviously, it should be the cost. Sorry, you have to give all the cost analysis, financial analysis, date, when you are going to complete it, you are doing the phase out of the coal, then only you are going to have the score over here. Okay, but not it's not easy to phase out the coal. If verify is smart enough, he can always understand like what is the feasibility of coal in your area. Something you can do, something we cannot do. Okay, if you understand the dynamics of what we say the the business dynamics of these fuels and all. If your fuel is 100 kilometers away from your location, then forget it. Like it's not feasible for you to buy and to the burn. If it is available in that premise, like in your 20, 30, 50 kilometer area, then it makes sense. Okay, coal is something we are getting like across the like area. With whoever is receiving the coal doesn't mean they have the coal mines nearby that people. It's the cost. Okay, so when we'll go for the biomass and all these type of things, it's not an easy job to get it. Like if you have a 40 tons boiler, for example, so in those condition, you almost need 3 times of the biomass, whatever you are using in the whatever you are using for the coal, for the coal as a fuel. Okay, so and plus the area, plus your the storage conditions. Lot of things are there for the phase out of the plant. You cannot just give a piece of a document and write that, oh, we are going to make a phase out. Okay, so just be sure about like whatever the details you have, make sure it should make sense. Okay, no doubt it's a level 2 question. Probably next year or maybe next to next year is going to be validated. And next question is related to, has your facility improved consumption compared to the baseline year? So this is the question which is like whatever the targets we have taken, this is related to the energy. So whether we have reduced the energy or not. So that is the question as compared to the baseline. If you go and check, there's a difference in the documents what you have received, that how to HIGG, and whatever we have right now with us, that is self-assessment portal. In self-assessment portal, you won't find anything like partial yes. But when you go and see in how to HIGG document, you have both yes and partial yes over there. So it's automatic what it is written over here, that you can see the above data will be auto populate, and they will calculate and then give you the scores accordingly. That's what it has written. Okay, just for your information, if you have means as per the how to HIG, what it is showing, how we do the comparison. For example, now we are doing the verification of 2023. So 23, it should be improved from 2022, means 2022, whatever the energy we have used, 23 should be less. Number one. Number two, whatever the baseline you have selected. For example, you have selected baseline of 2020. So 2020 compared to 2023 also should be less. Means whatever is the 2020, the 2023 should be less than 2020. So both the cases should be both the cases should be fulfilled. Then only you're getting the full yes mark. That is what is written. Okay, you know. Still, what I have noticed here in the how to HIG self assessment portal, lot of improvement are still there. It's necessary for the software people to make, because many places we have a kind of discrepancies with our understanding, industry understanding, and the what do you say, the portals, the fulfillment of the data. Okay, so you have to understand, and then you have to carry on. Probably due course of time they'll also improve. So whatever is there in the book, what I have considered as a bible. Okay, just for an example, this is one of the example for like how we are talking about like percentage change or change in number. Okay, assessment year normalized. Obviously we are checking comparison from the normalized value. For example, from 2021 to 20, how much it is like reduced. Year 0.57, year 0.47. So you can say it's like point minus means reduction. You can see from here to here, it has reduced to 0.10. Okay, this is the difference what we have, and the percentage would be how much it's the percentage, the 17% reduction. So this is how you have to calculate and give the value wherever whatever it has been asked for. Obviously, it's a normalized value. As a facility reduce, now this question is related to the GHG. Similarly, how we were doing for the energy, now GHG compared to baseline, whether you have like GHG emissions reductions or not. This is what it is asking for this one. Okay, obviously low GDP or low GWP refrigerants and all we can also consider here for the phase out plan. Okay, whatever we have made. So obviously when you change the refrigerants and all, it also reduce the GHG emission. So all this type of target, as I discussed before lunch, for the type of target for energy and emissions. So in energy, machine related, process related, you have to reduce. For GHG, you can put solar, wind, or whatever. Even this low GWP refrigerants, everything can be possible. Okay, so this is how you have to make your improvement. Now we are in the level 3. Where your facilities annual, okay, where your facilities annual scope 3 emission are you checking for the year? I have not seen a single factory which is really good enough to give this value. Okay, what I have understood from the scope 3, Like we have data, somebody would have the corporate data. Okay, here, but this question is very specific, asking for your own data. Scope 3 emissions, it's scope 2 and scope 1 we have calculated in level 1, level 2, but in level 3, the scope 3 is, these are like the points where we have to check it out. Upstream supplier, downstream supplier, both are there. From the upstream supplier, what are the emission sources when you purchase the good, what are the capital goods, based on that, what are the emissions, fuel or energy related activity, which is not included in your scope 1, scope 2. Above, upstream transportation means your raw material supplier, when they bring or distribute your material. So that is what this upstream supplier, transportation. Waste generated in the operation means your waste, landfills and all what we are talking about here. uh, then business travel by your marketing team, employee commuting from the bus. So this employee commuting means what are the company buses are there, it is in scope 3 here. Okay, then lease assess if it is applicable. It's not necessary that all the 15 point is applicable to you. Whatever is applicable to you, and you have to that follow it. Okay, keep in mind the upstream supplier, if you are completing only the upstream supply, still you are getting the partial yes marks. Downstream supplier, if you have everything, then it makes sense. Okay, obviously there are a lot of tools available right now. There's nothing like it has asked for to do or conduct any third party test for these upstream or downstream supply. Okay, so you carry on with your own. There are Excel by GHG protocol, quantis, they have those Excel where you can calculate your scope 3, which is readily available online. Okay, there are a lot of software, payable software. It's all up to you, or wish and will, but I believe you should go for the free one first, because I have seen a lot of things you'll understand the moment you yourself will conduct the scope 3, because ultimately you have to talk to your suppliers, upstream, downstream supplier, to get those data. It's only the data gathering is a havoc in this particular scope 3. Otherwise, Excel is very easy. Okay. Now let's come to the science-based target. If you have taken any kind of science-based target or any type of science-based target, you can say yes for this one. Okay, and this year it has having score. Last year it was not having. So if usually I found that the people keep like on the company basis or corporate basis. That also it's like we can use for here, like which I have committed for our own facility. Okay, kindly unmute. Sorry, mute your mic. Thank you. Has your facility? Yeah, this is what it is like. It's asking about. So for a verifier, it is very easy to check because they are not going to ask you any document. They will just mm, go on site of the science-based target and will check whoever has like committed, whoever has the target. Everything is there online available. So it's very easy for them to like check. So if you are having these, or if you have a planning, you can always put it that yes, we have we are doing this science-based target. So this is how you have to have. Now why people avoid these things, because it's actually a lengthy process. Obviously it takes almost like 1 to 2 years for your targets to be approved. Okay, the best part here in this new model, you would have noticed that we are putting what do you say, what I say, yeah. For company owned control vehicle, we have different tracking. For domestic, we have different tracking. For production, we have different tracking. All these raw material will directly help you out when you are going to have the science-based target, because the same thing they will ask you for that, their own, for your own approvals. If you have those data available, you will get very easily the approval from the science-based target. Your targets would be very easily approved. Okay, so that is the reason all this module has modified in such a way to address the global concerns. And this science-based target started from 2015 onwards, when it was asking for like net zeros and all came into the pictures. Okay, So now question number 22. Now it is something which is like very crazy, very difficult for us to score in this one. Does your facility can plan or to phase out any fossil fuels other than coal? Means forget about if you don't have coal, but obviously you would have diesel, right? For the gensets and all, or natural gas, very common in Bangladesh. Okay, so now this question, even you have to phase out the plan of fossil fuels. Okay, so you have to make a plan how we'll remove all those fossil fuels. What are the dates? What are the investment? What is like financial repercussion? Everything that you have to make. Then only you are getting by showing the plan. Okay. Now question number 23 in chronology, has your facility successfully replaced? Means previous question was asking for the plan. Now this is already you have replaced with a renewable energy. Now this question have a benefit, like means we can get this score. What I wanted to say, for example, in last 2020 onwards, if you have 2020 onwards, if you have what do you say uh, this change in EV, for example, some of your diesel vehicle you change to the EV, you're getting score here, partially score here. Okay, so those things you can give it over here in question 23. So this question we can get at least partial. But yes, obviously fully yes is very difficult. With some countries, like it's again it's industry specific. If somebody is not doing fossil fuel, so that's easy. But I didn't find like it's possible for at least in South Asian region where we have the power shutdown, cutoff kind of things very frequently. Okay, now we are going to the water. Let me see if you have any questions related to energy. Then we'll take it and then we'll move for the water. Chat box. Okay. Now, yes, please. Okay, question. If this is the first year, you 1 second. If this is the first year, Mr. David, if this is the first year you are doing the FEM, what do you take as a base year? You can take the same year as a baseline, but you cannot do the comparison. Mr. David, that's for you. If you are having, like, for example, 2023 year of assessment, first year, if you have taken, you have to consider the baseline same, but you cannot compare it. So this is like when we start, these are something where we can really not score it. But for your information, this is the condition what I consider that the company is absolutely new. Absolutely new. They started in 2000. What I say 2023. But if you're already running your company from last 4-5 years and your data has been verified by any kind of audit of energy, water, in those scenarios also you can use earlier baseline. It's not that only HIGG is going to check your baseline. You can have your own baseline from the early data, but the only condition, the baseline should be the year where you have no production fluctuation, means later from that baseline year, you don't have any too much installation or demolition in the machine, your production is streamlined. So that year you can consider. And if that has been verified, fantastic, by any third party, accepted. Okay. Even if you have those data, you just consider it. If you don't verify, I think there is only one question, but it won't reduce the marks. Okay. So please use a previous one if it is possible for you and you have those data available. How find percentage difference?
Roshan Afrin here again.
Yeah,
Pardon me.
friend.
There are more questions before. Questions have started from 12:38. I can see. So can you please scroll up?
Okay. No, I
Yes.
found only yes. So this was what I have given. Wait for 10 minutes. So you are expecting before that? I don't think. Uh, okay. Let me.
Yes.
I am sorry. I think there are many questions. We should take one only question and answer session. So many questions. Okay. I think I have done this one. One long-term strategy. After 12, what would the production of the HIGG verification? This is also done.
It's from 12:38. The time.
12:38. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Afrin. 12:38. Please share the GHG factor of all energy source. You can download it from the GHG protocol. You know, these factors keep on changing. Just for your information, there are always AR, what is it? Assessment report by IPCC. Yes, there's a body called so that will the panel of climate change. These people, they keep on changing the values. So always use the latest one, that is by AR5 assessment of all GWG or the factors. That would be better. Okay, so you can get it from there online. Please send the PPTs. Okay. One break. Please share the PPT after. Okay, it's only the PPT. I think that's only one question. Yeah, yeah. If I think that's only one question, it was there. Okay. How find the difference of baseline? How find percentage difference of baseline? I didn't understand. How to find percentage difference? Okay. Okay, no, it's not the difference. How much is the reduction percentage? That is the question. Okay, difference is obviously from 2023 to 2021. You know, how do you make difference? Obviously, the 23 will be lesser and 22 will be higher, so it will be minus. So that is always say the reduction. And the similarly, then you have to give minus the negative value of the percentage of, like, what is the percentage. For example, we have 20 value, for example, 20 units in 2023 and 25 units in 2022. So 20 divided by 25 percentage, that's the percentage. How percentage and quantity difference of baseline? Okay, is NG natural gas will consider? Yes, natural gas is considered it's a methane only. Question 23, partially replacement of fuel can be answer. Yes, this is question that in partially we are getting. Yeah, yes, whatever, if you have reduced it, it's okay. Question 20, 12, 22 questions not answered. I'll go back. 12, 23. What was that? 12, 23. Okay, 12, 32 or 23. Oh yeah, here from here, a lot of questions are there. Okay, what is carbon offset? What is I think we have discussed what is carbon offset. Uh, Carbon offset and carbon uh, credit. No, offset is basically what you are going to purchase it to the carbon credit. So carbon credit you will get, and that you can offset it. Offset is basically purchasing. We are purchasing the electricity from other factories. How I can indicate the emission factors per k? You have to change everything. You know, factories. We are purchasing the electricity from other factory. Other factory, it is in your own country. So if it is the same country, you have the same factor for that as well. For electricity, I'm very specific. Okay. So there is a dilemma, like HIGG must have go with normalized and set goal with goals global alignment. We have to go absolute only. No, you have to go normalized to compare the data. Okay, absolute is the condition when for example, we are not changing any production from every year on year basis. Then if you are reducing absolute value, that it makes sense. But in our textile case, either we increase our production or we decrease our production. So normalized, and that is what I'm talking about, comparison data with a baseline of previous year, whether we have improved. So for that, you can write any data, doesn't matter. But a verifier will compare only the normalized data. Our baseline is 2018, and we have set our long-term EMS plan for 2024. However, should we change our baseline? And yeah, you should change the baseline uh, in every 5 years, what I always advise. Okay, but it's 2018. Obviously, you would have a target still 24. Uh, uh, I think it's right time because in 2018 probably you don't have those domestic data available with you. If you have those data available, then no problem. But probably I believe across the industry nobody would have the domestic of admin building and this would be available. So now you first fix up all these flow meters or energy meter, then start with the fresh baseline. That is the advisable. Prayer time is okay. Please, prayer time start, please. We have some vehicle that are on monthly contract, a payment fixed, also no fixed vehicle. Then I think you should avoid this one. You should avoid because you have only partially use kind of things. I would say to avoid right now because probably you are not getting any fuel data from there. Where time? Okay. What time we can start? One is please can share the GHG factor. Okay, now let's go to down. GTW of Inditex is also an Inditex. Yeah, this is it's not an energy audit. It's an environmental audit. Green to wear. We have RMG. Please suggest. For these, I'm going to like invest some 10-15 minutes extra. What you have to select for the side info tomorrow. I'm just avoiding these questions because during lunchtime also I'm getting so many questions from my own people. We are purchased the electricity from other factory. Now, how can I indicate that's I've done? Other factory is also in your country, right? The GHG emission factor is common for the country, not for the factory. So whatever is your country, that's all for your purchase electricity. If it is through grid only, ultimately through grid only. We have some vehicle that are that's all we have done. Can we use the local emission factor? That is what we are. Local means governmental, the local country wise. India has a different, Bangladesh would be different, China would be different. European would have Europe or the European countries would have different. It's all based on like what type of source a government is using to generate electricity. In India, the coal is higher, so that's why our GHG factor is around 7-8. In Europe, there are more like green energy, so their emission factors are 0.4, 0.3, something like that. Okay, so it's all bit. Staff colony energy consumption can we take is domestic? Yes, if it is inside the premises, it's domestic. Compressed air is used in different way in factories. This air loss due to lack of proper planning. As a result, energy lost also. I didn't understand what is the reason behind this question of Mr. Mohammed Rahman. Okay, compressed air is used in different ways in factories. Correct. This air loss occur due to lack of proper planning or other. Okay, as a result, yeah, you can save for the energy saving. You can keep all these things like initially on the baseline. For example, you have so many losses, so you can mend it out, and then you can always show that yes, I have improved my the like energy consumption by controlling the compressed air. Okay, compressed air is used in different factors. This is lost due to as a result, which is yeah, so is there an analysis required for? No, it's only like the energy. Okay, if you are too much losses, if your consumptions are more for the same production, I'm giving one a simple example for air jet looms. For air jet looms, we need all these big compressors. Okay, if you don't have that efficiency control, then obviously you need more energy, more capacity and energy finally. So if you control all these type of losses in those conditions, your energy requirement is less for the equal amount of fabric production. So this is how we can understand this one. Okay. Any other question I didn't find here? Okay, so let me go back to water now. Okay, so now we have what is the time? 1:36. Okay. 2:30. 1 hour we have, probably we can complete two section. Let me check if possible. Okay, now we are in the water and energy and waste, more or less similar type of question, but you have to change, you have to understand the concept which has been changed now this year, because now this year we have what we have, now this year we have like terminology has been changed greatly. Okay, so that's only what we have to understand, and what I feel now this is the correct way for like uh, the interpretations of the results and all. Okay, lot of confusions were there in last year, especially for the recycle reuse, which has been shot out in this module, what I have personally felt. Okay, so water for the production, water for the domestic, similar way, whatever the type of production you are making for the different production, different water consumption, domestic different. So this is the level of understanding what is expecting right now. So they have segregated in blue water and gray water. So blue water is basically surface water, groundwater, municipal water. Municipal water, if you even if you don't have any origin, so these are like brackish water, condensate from the external source. Condensate means like if you are purchasing the steam, when those steams will convert into the water, like sorry, obviously into the condensed water. So that also consider as a blue water, especially when you in the country of China, where we have those purchase streams available for us. Rainwater, all are considered as the blue water. Gray water, municipal gray water means all are the like untreated water. Recycle water is a your treated water. Okay, reuse your water, which is reusing. Okay, just for your information, reuse water, like how we have to calculate here. Like for example, if you have a washing chamber, in a washing chamber we have 7 washers. Okay, and everything is coming counter current. So whenever like the first 2 bath water is not that much contaminated, so we can reuse those water, or we can we can take those water in the different tank and we can use in some other process. This is how the reuse has been defined in this one. Recycle water means after treatment in my ETP RO, and when I'm going to reuse that, sorry, I'm going to using, that is recycling. Okay, so keep in distance, there's a difference. Treated wastewater from external source, if somebody treating wastewater and then sending you the water, that is also a gray water. Untreated water, obviously, if you are not getting any wastewater, sorry, water, whatever you are getting, even that is a wastewater of municipal, of the city, of or your or industrial area, that is all considered as a gray water, which is like dirty water. Okay. So how many days? It's the same, whatever you have inside info, put it over here. Select the tool. Obviously, you have to select both the tool WWF and WRI to confirm that whether you are in the dry area, that is water risk area. If you are high risk areas, then all the questions belong to you. If you are only in like a low risk area and your consumption is less than 30 meter cube per day, then in that case, you have only one level sections to be tracking. That's all. All the level is not applicable to you. So marks related to level 3 and level 2 will distribute in a other section. Okay. Is your facility located in high overall risk? Yeah, that's what we have checking in the tools. Is your facility using production, your water production? And then if you are like consumption, separate reporting consumption of each facility type means dyeing, printing and all, whatever you have selected inside info, here the boxes are opening. Okay, similarly in the energy, the boxes are opening when you selected inside info. So here for the for the printing, for the dyeing, whatever you have selected as a shipment data, here all those boxes are going to be open. Okay, select all the sources in the your facilities as per that gray or blue, whatever you are having at your site. Okay, does your facility track its water use? 99% yes. Now this one, does your facility track consumption of all sources? This have any, again you have partially yes and yes. If you select, if you track all the sources, you're getting full. If you're tracking some of the sources, then you have like partially yes. Okay, now this is a new question. Does your facility, does the water consumption you track and report include the rejected water quantity from pre-treatment? This question is asking, for example, if you are doing water treatment, means you're taking water from the ground, you're taking water from the river, wherever, and then you are doing treatment in ion exchange or softening like sand filters and all. From that, you are getting rejections. Okay, they will also reject some water. Do you track that rejected water? That is the question. In some countries, people directly drain those water again back to the drainage line. No calculation. Some country people, they will send it to the equalization tank. Okay, this is how it is. But the question is whether you are tracking those water. If yes, then yes. If no, then no. Okay, so you can think about that. Today there's no marks for this question, but tomorrow it's going to become, because it's a level 1 question. And when the marks will be there, this will be again a nightmare for all of us. So start working on those type of reject water, how we can calculate them. Okay, so let's move further. Are you able to identify and track domestic? Again, this is tracking of your toilets and canteen or the medical room, those water from the production water, that is for the dyeing, printing, finishing, whatever is applicable to you. Okay, so the moment you say yes, you have 2 boxes. The moment you say no, the single box. Okay, now this is a new question they have added, specific. If there is a law for your groundwater withdrawing, please submit the law. If you have Miss Verifier can also check. He should check like whatever the water you have drawn, and if there is a cap, like there's a limitation for that water to be drawn from the ground. So in those conditions, whether you are fulfilling or not. So these things are there in the question. So for example, in case of India, we have the groundwater authority. Now it's like every state and every province, they have their own like process to give the cess, NOC, whatever, and please follow that one. Similarly for other countries, I'm not very sure about Bangladesh. I don't think there's a like legal mandate for the groundwater. I'm not very sure. There could be, but yes, wherever it is there, please have that one, because this is now an important question. With your capacity, how much allowed by the government to draw water? Okay. Now question number 7, does the facility have process to inspect and yeah, this question is a new question now. Now here they are looking for like you should check your leakages uh, as a part of maintenance. Okay, so here what I would specific tell you, you add some points in your internal audit, you add some points in your maintenance schedule. So that would be easy for you to check. Okay, otherwise it will be like difficult for us to score here, because here document is must. So a verifier, definitely he'll go and check like what it is like whether you're really following or not. And during the verification, he found something, he will ask you for the action, whether you have no, whether you know your pipe has been leaked. So obviously the this guy the uh, verifier will ask you for the maintenance reports and all, whether you come, you know all these things or not. So make sure that you should have a documents available. Okay. Has your facility set baseline for any of its water use? Now the same questions for the level 2 has started. Has your facility set baseline for its water use? Means you have to give all the baseline for all the sources what you have to get the full marks. That's what I would suggest you. If you missed out some of them, then probably you are getting some less marks. So make sure that whatever the source are there, at least consider as the baseline. Okay. Are you able to set baseline for water use? Now there's the segregation for domestic different, for the production different. So have you selected, are you able to set baseline for both domestic and production? Okay, which water source, like you can always select which are the sources for the production and domestic, you are selecting it for the baseline. Obviously, for example, you are having 2 sources, groundwater and municipal water. Okay, out of that, whichever is contributing 90%, you should take the target for that. Okay, just understand what I'm trying to say. If you have, for example, 100 meter cube daily consumption, or like monthly consumption or yearly consumption, 100 meter cube out of 100, you are having 20 from the municipal, 80 from the your own groundwater. Okay, there are 2 sources now. Okay, in that case, how do we take the targets for that? Okay, in those conditions, you have to consider whichever is contributing 90. Unfortunately, both are not considered as the both are not considered for the 90. Sorry, both are not come to the 90. One is 80, one is 20. So you have to take target for the for both sorry, for the both 80 and 20 for getting the score for the target. That is the follow question. Just I'm giving you an example. Okay. Now question number 13 is related to the water balance. You have to have the water balance and like that is intake, output, even whatever the in the every processes, whether you have those water meter for the production calculation, your department calculation. So water balance is not only the inlet and outlet, it is also the evaporation losses, leakages for your factories. It is expected that if you are like, for example, if your consumption is around 100 meter cube per day, so if you are like discharging around 85, you have control, because many losses are there, that like cooling tower loss, evaporation loss, machine loss, losses by the fabric. So these are many things which usually contribute 10 to 15% of the losses of water. But if you are having the losses more than 20, 25, 30, then there's a problem with your system. There's a leakages and all. Okay, so that is the reason why we need to have the proper water balance. It is encouraged to conduct a like, for example, if you have conducted some water audit in last 5 years, that's better. That's water balance can be accepted. Okay, so you have to have the data collection, water flow mapping, verification, water analysis. These are the part of your water, what I say, the audits. So water balance, as I mentioned, incoming water, process quantity for recycle, reuse, evaporation loss, process loss, all this will be a part of a water balance. Finally, now this is the question what I was talking about initially. Has your facility set target for reducing blue water used for any source except rainwater? So rainwater, they are not accepting. They are not accepting the target for the rainwater. Okay. Now blue water. So here the target you to reduce the blue water. Understand why? Because blue water is the fresh water. So for the future, we want to save it. So that is the reason why we want to have the blue water reduction. Okay. The similar way, if you have water from the municipal, water from the what I have just explained, from the groundwater 80-20, you have to then take target for both groundwater and municipal water, because your 90% is not like, the total is not 90%. So if you only select groundwater, which is 80% or 80 meter cube out of 100, then you are only getting partial yes. So if your water target for the source of blue water is from 50 to 89, you are getting partial yes marks, or 90 and above, you will get the full yes marks. Okay, this is the question. Now this is another question. If you are using the gray water, so now you have to increase the gray water, means now you have to like, you have to make like, uh, because ultimately it is what it is asking about, like you should increase those type of water which is not fresh, as simple as that. Okay, because in some cases, like people have like 10%, 20% like top up water, and rest they do the treatment by themselves. So in those conditions also, why don't we have everything in the gray water form? Okay, gray water is nothing but the dirty water whatever we are receiving from other sources, from the government, from the municipal, without treatment. Okay, so two type of treatment again in the water. For the gray water reduction, it is only applicable when you are having those. If you don't have, then this is not applicable to you. For example, recycle water. Okay, previously last year, when there's only one, last year it was only one type of target, water reduction. In that case, like, it was like, how do we recycle, why we reduce the recycle water, or every time whenever we do the verification previous year in 3.0, like recycle water we should increase, right? Like why we should take the target to reduce the recycle water? We should increase the water, then only our like groundwater or the blue water is going to reduce. Now you can see here it's like more streamlined. So whether you are having the target for increasing, if it is applicable for the gray water. So recycle water is a type of gray water. So now the question is asking to increase the gray water in this module. Okay. Does a facility
Can I
track?
ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry disturbing you, but I need to ask you a question. During the HIGG verification, now I am in a factory. We are talking about municipal gray water.
Yeah.
because when it's translated to different languages, municipal means something else. And but organizational site, off-site ETP, recycled gray water is also municipal gray water. Am I right?
Yes. All are
For
grey
this
water.
reason, treated wastewater from an external party is another company, but municipal gray water is organized
Government.
site, recycled, second quality water. This makes
Okay.
sometimes confusion. That's why I'm asking, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just correcting. I mean, I'm just repeating. I would not say correct. You can see here, treated wastewater from external sources is also a grey water. Okay.
Yes.
It
But
could
it's
be
from a
anything.
factory, isn't it? It's not from an organizational site,
It can be
off-site
from the
ETP.
factory. I accept. I
Yes.
accept it. It's from
Yes.
any external sources, not the
Yes.
government sources. Okay. Even untreated wastewater from external source treated internally, probably the company is doing this. Again, that is a grey water. Please understand, you are getting a treated water by any external source, treating, making it fresh and giving it to you. You are getting good water here. But it is external people, somebody which you from where you are getting, they are treating. This is also considered as the grey water. That's what I wanted to say.
So thank you very much, because the lady I'm trying to convince during the HIGG verification, they are working for Marks and Spencer, and they are doing very good job here. They are taking in the gray water and recycling that gray water from offsite ETP. But we are, I'm trying to convince them regarding the name of municipal gray water and treated wastewater. That's why I wanted them also to hear from you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Very good
Okay.
presentation, and we are very glad. Thank you, sir.
Has the facility, okay. Yeah, now this is has the facility set the target for increasing gray water used for any source. This is the same what we were discussing. You have to increase the gray water source. Now this is question number 16. Does your facility set target to improve the rainwater harvesting capacity at your facility? Understand this question. This question is first for those people who are already doing rainwater harvesting here. Okay, now the target is to improve the rainwater harvesting capacity in your facility. Means you have only the tank, already the tanks and everything is available at your premises. And now the question is asking, how do you increase the tank? How do you preserve more rainwater? So this is the question what you have to consider. So probably you have to start working on the rainwater. If you have not yet if you have not yet started, then you have to think about in coming days, like how we can increase the capacity. How do you increase? Obviously, tank size, catchment area, like obviously there should be water in those areas. You cannot just keep on making the tanks unless until if it's a dry or arid region. So that is all which will make sense for this particular question for you to prove that you are improving your rainwater harvesting. Does your facility have an implementation plan to improve water use? So does your facility have implementation plan to improve means uh, your plan, obviously it's the same type of plan what we have seen in an energy. Again, what is your investment, how you are going to what are the actions, when you are going to complete it, all these to be part of your implementation plan for water improvement. When we say improved, obviously gray increase and blue decrease. Okay, both considered as a improvement. Okay, and then obviously that plan should be management approved plan. Don't make a plan overnight and come up with the verifier. Okay, this is the plan for 5%, 2% reduction, not accepted. Okay, now question number 18. Now this is comparison. Obviously, has your facility reduced blue water? If you are using blue water compared to the baseline, have you reduced? So if you have reduced, you are getting score. Now this is the comparison. So somebody has asked the question, I think David, like whether we have, if it is my first time, so then you cannot compare, you won't get. No, you should write no for this particular question or this question, whatever is applicable to you. This question, question number 19, is related to the gray water. That is the gray water to be considered. Okay, so gray water means the same municipal water or the recycled water, have you increased as compared to the baseline? So probably somebody would have gray water. If they don't have gray water, these questions are not applicable to them. Okay. Does your miss in the application, the implement, sorry, application applicability only, you can filter out all these questions with your conditions. Okay. Now these questions are absolute. Now whatever I was discussing in the morning, that this is the same like absolute blue water. Does your facility have a plan to reduce your absolute blue water use? Miss, now they are not looking for any normalized, not absolute. Miss, you have to give a plan like next 5 years, I'm going to increase. There could be one condition, two condition, I'm sorry. One condition is that uh, year on year basis, we can increase the production. Okay. And based on the production, water consumption will be increased on pro rata basis. But the question is, if even if you are increasing the production, your water consumption should be not increase. Your consumption should be absolutely the same or less. That planning they are asking here. If you have same production, so you have to show that your water is not increasing every year, or either you have to reduce it. So this is the question, to reduce the absolute blue water. So you can now understand like why we are looking for reduction is blue water. Ultimately, it will encourage you to increase the gray water. So when the all sources will be stopped, you start lying or hunting for the water. Even that is the like gray water you will use, and this has the case already happening in India. In some of the places, some of the cities, people are not getting water, especially for the textile. I would quote company like in Ahmedabad, they are not getting the water. They are only getting the municipal water, and these people first treating and then they are making it for the production. So how much they are like investing in all these things. So that is what the reward it for these type of module for those companies who are doing that. Similarly, in South, there is a place Perandurai, Sipcod. They are also having, they are getting the same municipal water, and they have to treat. Means you can understand now the scarcity of water is so high in these textile belts. So people are looking for gray water. Forget about blue water. So now you can understand how these questions has probably been introduced in this module. Okay. Now question number 21. Have you eliminated the use of groundwater for your production process? Means almost 90%. But what I always believe why this question is there in uh, uh, water section. It should be part of wastewater, because here reduce more than 90% of groundwater means what? You have to do the recycle only. The only options like if you reduce your 90% uh, either by RO or ZLD kind of process. Okay. So this is the question. So this question is looking for like groundwater, like not usage of the groundwater or not to take, because the groundwater level is reducing year on year basis. So that is the reason this question has come into the picture. Okay. So all these level 3 questions are asking about to give you incentive in the case if you're really working to save or sustainable futures. Okay. Now question 22. Now can your like in level 2 it was planning of absolute blue water. Now question 22, it is already you are reducing overall blue water. Means what a verifier will check, he will check what is your production from last year to this year. Okay. And then he'll definitely do it normalize, no doubt about that. Okay. But yes, he will check whether it's reduced or not on pro rata basis. Okay. It's not that you have reduced your production and your absolute blue water is reduced. No, you're not getting score there. You have increased your water, production and reduce your water. That is what is the question. The blue water, whatever the river water or groundwater, those are the blue water which we have discussed in the first slide. Okay. Now question number 23, it is now more like disclosure. It's like how we have the carbon disclosure in carbon disclosure plan, CDP, GRI, there is also have the water disclosure. 99% I have seen nobody has doing this type of disclosure in GRI or CDP. Okay, but now the question is there, like whether you have already disclosed your water risk consumption and external reporting. Probably in your sustainability report you can also give. If you have done, make it yes. Now this question is a tricky question. Now, can your facility demonstrate positive impact onto the water catchment area of water source of your community? Means, how do you demonstrate that you are contributing to the like improvement of your water? This is the question. Means you have to demonstrate it. Means you have to prove that you are increasing the water. You know, simply you have to give that like you are not using too much water. I would not say that much. We would not be the correct explanation. The best way, you have to have like some of the arrangement where you can prevent the soil erosion, contour bunding, tracing, construction of embankment. So that will save the water. Okay, in your groundwater requirement. So this is actually very expensive things, whatever I'm talking to you right now. Okay, to increase the infiltration. The simple way, why don't we do the groundwater recharge? Groundwater recharge not at our premises, but outside the premises. So whatever the rainfall is coming, why don't we recharge directly to the ground by having the bore well? That would be one of the simple way to demonstrate this question, where we can really say that yes, we are increasing our production, sorry, positive impact on the water catchment. And there are many examples. Even I have seen, for example, in Bangalore and all these places, there are many companies, they are doing the water recharging, but probably for them only. But yes, there are somebody who are also doing outside, and they have seen the positive effect on the increasing on the ground level. That is what is the positive signs of that. Okay, what is positive sign for this type of activity? So this is the questions related to the demonstration of positive impact of your water catchment basin. Okay, now question 25, does your facility implement any leading technology practices to significant? Means what are the techniques we are using for reducing the water in your premises? So you can have ZLD system. If you are get, means this question is actually easy question, what I say. If you have the low liquor machines, if you have low liquor garment machine, waterless machines, then you are getting score. So you have to prove that I have like water machines, which is really the best machine which can use less water. And even the ZLD wastewater treatment considered for the lead and pattern, because we are not using more water, because the moment you will recycle more water, you will use less water for the fresh. Okay, now this is, I believe this is the last question. In water, has your facility set a science-based target of water? Science-based target, till we were only uh, looking in what do you say in the energy, and but this one like question is looking for science-based target for water, and this is nothing but what we say SBTN. Okay, I didn't find uh, anyone people are like here working on this SBTN. We all are working on the SBTI. Okay, so probably this is a new business from the SBTI in future. Okay, so or even if you have anything like any targets or like any disclosure with others, you can also use. You can also like can go for that. Fortunately, it doesn't have any score right now, but probably in future it's going to come. So keep in mind, these are the future questions. When you have, when you struggle in 90s, 80s, miss above 90, if you'll go with the score, then this type of score makes sense actually. This type of questions will, pressurize you to get that. Otherwise, if you ask my view, 70, 80, 85, 90, no need for all this. Just the information. It's all up to you to use or whatever, like, you can go unless until brands are pushing you. You cannot avoid these questions as well. Okay. So, so I think that's all for the water section. Let me see if anybody have any questions. Yeah, so many questions again. Where is the staff coordinator? Can we calculate domestic water energy consumption? You can do the estimation basis, no doubt, but you'll not able to take the target later on. Estimation, you cannot take the targets. Okay. You can definitely estimate, but if it is a correct methodology, then you can take the target as well. Let me give